Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Ele banjo, why go? The bread of life is Jesus Christ. Abolo, eh, wala bolo Jesus. Incabolo, eh, wala bolo Jesus. Wachamele ye mana, yengale noni ameboi. Abolo ni jengwe ni bane kuni waye kuni waishi. Oni abolo le, eba ishi keya nano. Wachamele ye mana, yengale noni ameboi. Abolo ni jengwe ni bane kuni waye kuni waishi. Oni abolo le, eba ishi keya nano. Incabolo, eh, wala bolo Jesus. Got it. Abolo, eh, wala bolo Jesus. Show it. Wachamele ye mana, yengale nonya megoi.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Citi 97.3. More variety.
.625. Welcome to the 4th of November, 2022. Good morning, bonjour, buenos dias. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Live on your dial, Citi 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Quao, holding the fort for Bernard Avle. Many thanks for joining us. It's always an honor and a pleasure bringing you the biggest breakfast in town. You're welcome. Please grab a seat. Let's have breakfast. Join us on 0549 986 996 on Citi at Citi 973 on Twitter. Hashtag CitiCBS. And if you are listening to us all around Ghana and all around the world, if it's not via radio, then it's via citinewsroom.com. Sounds of soul winners. Call this one Walabolo, the bread of life. Jesus is the bread of life. The bread that taketh away all hunger. Wonderful way to start a Friday. Begin with our business sense for the morning. Business sense brought to us by ADB. ADB's got the payday plus for you. If you're a salaried worker and your paycheck goes through ADB, this is wonderful news for you. You can get up to 10,000 cedis or 80% of your next net monthly salary with the payday plus. Remember, there's no interest on repayments within 30 days and your money hits your account the same day. If you are interested, you can call Meredith on 0243273369 or now on 0244284197. ADB, truly a Greek and more. Business Sense today comes from Brian Tracy, who says integrity is the most valuable and respected quality of leadership. Always keep your word. Integrity is the most valuable and respected quality of leadership. Always keep your word. I think it explains itself. Of all the things that go with leadership, integrity is the most valuable. Always think about that, your integrity. So whatever you do, let that bit resonate. Always keep your word. Be a man of your word. Be a man that exemplifies what he preaches. That's where the true leadership comes from. That's our business sense for the morning. And for this week, proudly brought to us by ADB. ADB, truly a Greek and more. The newspaper review comes up next. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Why would you want to be caught up in this?
Madam, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, we are trying to resolve
Why
the
can't
issue.
I use my Visa card?
Godfred, how are you doing? Good
I
morning.
am well. Planning ways of existing. Like, just basically, what can I do away with, in these times? So maybe listeners can also help me out. You can help me out. Like, what are you willing to do away with in these hard times?
I don't know. I mean, I guess review the expenses.
So what?
I mean,
what would go?
What would go? To be honest, I haven't taken a critical look. I'm still trying.
At this time, you haven't taken a critical look. Hey. Oh well, it's just a question I'm asking. Maybe our listeners can also help us. Like, what would you do away with? Like, what can you do away with right now?
Yeah.
You like now if you had to kick some things out.
The first thing I'll say is the unnecessary movement.
Hey.
That's the first one.
Uh-huh.
So the unnecessary.
That one will go away.
Yeah.
And then.
Some of the things you can't do away. For example, you can't say you won't buy electricity anymore.
Would you reduce?
Yeah, I mean you have to be wiser with your consumption.
Okay, so you'll be putting your things off. All right. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that's basically what's been filling my days. Just what's on my not to do list for how to save money. What are you taking off your list?
Good morning to Kokui.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, Kokui.
Thank you so much, Ubudai. Thank you. Let's stay in that lane because I don't want my mind to go there.
You've given Kokui away.
He's giving me away. Charlie, what to cut? What haven't we already cut?
Hey, then you've gone far.
The thing is, no, because I mean, you when you've got, as you know,
young
children, and there's only so much you can
really cut.
And after that,
it's managing. Anyway, so that's the question I'm asking. So
and hitting the galamsey.
Front page of the Daily Graphic. We're discussing a lot of climate change. Today is COP27, so it's starting in Egypt. 100 world leaders to attend COP27. I hope it's not just talk. Every time they meet, talk. And also on the front page, strengthening regional integration and force judgments of African courts. Sophia Kufu urges member states of AU. And Kwabena Dufo confirms intention to contest NDC flag bearership. Hey.
Yeah, I like it when people throw their hats in and they are open about it.
Yeah, but read the room.
It's okay.
Read the room. How do you say that? Literally in Ghana. Okay. No, okay. Ghanaian Times. Under Paris Climate Agreement, Ghana targets $15 billion for action plan. And this is to reduce emissions and adaptation of impacts. Also, stop illegal miners to protect lives. This is the UG Galamsey research team. Kumasi gets a 2.5 million euros grant for waste management service from the EU. That's all on the front page of the Ghanaian Times today.
Front page of the Daily Guide also comes with the Dufour story, a photo of a smiling Dr. Kwabena Dufo. Parliament moves to automate voting. Interesting. And IMF talks could delay 2023 budget. Oseche Mensa Bonsu.
The New Weekend Crusading Guide. NPP dispel private army bunkum. Okay. GJA rakes in over 70K 2 days after launching their 2 million Ghana Cedi seed support fund for journalists. All right. The war against illegal mining. Achimansa DCE raids Galamsey site. Okay. All on the front page of the New Weekend Crusading Guide.
The front page of the Republic Press say that MPs briber wanted as majority launches probe. Okay, we'll see how that goes. 148 former MPP chairmen threatened to leave party over neglect. In court, a businessman has been convicted for stabbing co-tenant over a woman. And Tesla says she will deal with persons who are refusing to re-register their SIM cards.
The Finest newspaper front page, indexing salaries to dollar untenable. Dr. Baumia launches 5-year development strategy for northern Ghana. Government unlikely to present budget to Parliament on November 15th, says the majority leader. And Journalist Support Fund targets 2 million Ghana cedis seed money. That's the GJA.
Finally from me, the front page of the Herald newspaper, ECOWAS chases Ghanaian army officers over $800,000 missing cash. According to the paper, government forces GPHA to dash Buankra project developers $33 million.
And the Daily Analyst front page, let's stop violence against journalists. Justice Sioni Kulendi asserts. GJA launches journalist support fund. Guta causing fear and panic with shortage of goods comment. The Deputy Trade Minister fires. Prices of goods will fall if locally made ones are patronized, Guta is told. And NDC flag bearership race. Dufo declares intention.
Okay, if you go online, citinewsroom.com says all MPP MPs now in favor of sacking Oforiatta. That's according to the majority leader. What an interesting twist. And then he goes on to say, we'll investigate a businessman accused of trying to bribe MPP MPs. Okay? On the Galamsey front, yesterday we had the Galamsey dialogue, a number of stories from there. We are spending 10 times more to treat water in the Ashanti region. That's according to the Ghana Water Company Limited. Professor Chris Gordon says Galamsey is a mental problem. Okay. And other stories. I'll contest NDC flag bearership slot. Dufo declares. I like that. Labour Ministry to meet teachers threatening strike over new GS boss. And 80% of Ghana School of Law candidates pass final exams. Okay, over 80%. Over 8. I like that. This is great news. Okay, if you go to citybusinessnews.com, revive tour to provide reliable and affordable fuel. IES to President Akufo-Addo. So that is also on the fuel price front there. Majority leader on myjoyonline.com telling us what we know now. All MPs are now aligned on the sacking of Ken Ofori-Atta. Then he goes on to say 2023 budget statement may delay as IMF talks stall. Interesting stuff there. And patronage of train services in Accra on the rise due to fuel price increase. Wow, interesting story. And then it says Shatawale reacts to police's quest to reinvestigate Fennec Autry's murder. All of that on myjoyonline.com. If you go to Star FM, Star FM's online portal, starfm.com.gh, Adams Mahama made a Afoko Asapke challenge High Court order to open defense. And Kwabena Dufo jabs Nana Akufo-Addo. Sikam pe dede, nanso a comfre dede. Kaish, bars. Okay, and majority caucus leadership probes attempted bribery allegation to civil free. If you go international though, Russia attacks leave 4.5 million Ukrainians without power. And in Pakistan, Imran Khan shock at attack on Pakistan ex-MP. The update I saw earlier was that he was in stable condition. And our very good friend Elon Musk is here. Says Twitter to make job cuts after Musk takeover. All right. And Donald Trump, the one and only Donald Trump, drops strong hint about 2024 White House run. Okay. All right, let's get into...
well, I guess you should start.
Yes, you want me to give you the
from Parliament?
Yes, Parliament. So Parliament, the stories there have taken a very interesting twist. Now, the majority leader, and this story is on citynewsroom.com, he says all the MPs in the NPP caucus in Parliament now wants the finance minister out of office.
All of them.
All of them.
Including himself.
He says, after a recent meeting, the Suame MP said the whole caucus now supported calls for the finance minister to resign or be sacked. Let me drop quotes for you. Even though the issue started with a group of 80 plus, the caucus meeting aligned with the decision of that group. So it is no longer the cause of the 80 plus group. It is the agenda for the entire caucus, Mr. Chairman Sabunsu said to journalists in Parliament.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Moving on, the other part of that story has to do with this businessman. All of it.
Now they are looking for
mystery.
The mystery business. Yes. Mr. Ochesemen, Oseche, what am I saying? Oseche,
the economy no good.
So wait, he says that investigations will be conducted into allegations that a businessman tried to bribe some MPP members of parliament who demanded the removal of Ken Ofori-Atta. The leadership of the majority caucus had stated earlier that a renowned businessman in Ghana tried influencing the decision of some MPs with money, okay? But during an engagement with the parliamentary press corps, Mr. Chairman Sabunsu, I got it right this time, said an investigation would be commissioned into the matter to ascertain its veracity.
Well, an update on that as well from Mr. Chairman Sabunsu. So he says the IMF talks could delay 2023 budget. Kokui predicted this last week and says the government budget statement economic policy for the 2023 financial year may be delayed. Leader of Government Business and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Osechi Mensabuzu, has said. According to him, the date for the budget presentation is likely to go beyond the November 15 deadline as set out by the Public Financial Management Act 2016. Quote, the budget is the greatest program that is presented to the House by any government, and we need to spend time looking at it. As I sit here, I still have to have some discussions with the minister responsible for finance to determine exactly when he will be able to submit the document to us. Discussions that are going on involving the IMF are going to take a bit of a while. My understanding is that it will go into the first few days of next week, around 10th November, he explained. If that is the case, then we have to stand down the inclusions and factor them into the budget. After he succeeds in doing that, because the budget for the government has to go before cabinet for some discussions and integrations before additions and subtractions, before it comes ultimately to Parliament.
Okay, well, let's talk about salaries and things going up and things not going up. Now, indexing salaries to dollar untenable. This is in the Finder newspaper, and it has to do with Valco. Now, the board of management of the Volta Aluminum Company says the demand of its workers for their salaries to be indexed to the US dollar rate is untenable and must be disregarded. Now, the workers, led by their union executives, made this demand during the negotiation period, insisting on having their salaries pegged to the US dollar as of the last salary adjustment on 1st September 2021. However, the board of management insisted that since the salary of the Ghanaian worker is not indexed in the USD, but rather the Ghanaian cedi, the demands from the workers to their salaries pegged to the dollar is untenable. The workers also rejected a 22% increment in salary from management. They're describing it as insufficient, and they're demanding 55% increment instead. Now, if we go to the Daily Analyst, Guta has been told that prices of goods will fall if locally made ones are patronized. Well, that's what we're all hoping for, isn't it? So in the Daily Analyst, David Adika, former executive member of the Association of Ghana Industries, says the prices of goods will fall if the general overdependence on imported goods is reduced. Now, his statement comes after the Ghana Union of Traders Association, or GUTA, issued a notice cautioning that Ghanaians may buy Christmas goods at much higher prices in December this year. According to GUTA, goods including food items like cooking oil, rice, sugar, second-hand clothing and frozen foods, as well as non-food items like Christmas trees, ribbons and balloons for decorations, are mostly imported by members of GUTA. They say if the government does not address the depreciation of the cedi immediately, Ghanaians will buy their Christmas goods at expensive prices. And this was GUTA President Dr. Joseph Obeng speaking at a press conference.
Okay, then let me take you to some politics. Kwabena Dufo confirms his intention to contest NDC flag bearership. That's on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. You can also find it on the front page of the Daily Guide. On page 13 of the Daily Graphic, however, it says that confirming this intention at a press conference in Accra today, the founder of the Eswell Unibank and Unicredit said he decided to embark on the presidential bid to return the country to its past greatness and glory. Okay. Quote, I have led a great public and private life, one of success and accomplishments. I will offer myself once again to serve the land of my birth with great humility and sacrifice when I am given the chance to do so, the economist and entrepreneur said. The event was attended by a number of leading members of the NDC, including a former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma South, a Minister of Information, Fritz Bafo, a former Deputy Minister of Health, Rojo Meto Nunu, a former National Organizer of the NDC, Abu Atinjan, and a former Eastern Regional Minister, Entribu Isiaku Setre.
Okay, well, let's hear from another gentleman whose name keeps cropping up as people who aspire to become president. He's the current Minister for Agriculture. Now, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Kokui Selormey, has emphasized that Western region has great potential for agriculture. Now, this is on the back page of the Daily Analyst. He explained that this agricultural potential, when properly explored, would promote agricultural growth within the region and the country as a whole. Now, he's on a 3-day tour, or day 3 of his tour of the Western region, in a meeting with farmers and directors of agriculture, among other stakeholders. He encouraged the various stakeholders in agric present at the gathering to take advantage of the enormous agric potential. According to him, the Western region also has great potential for rice and poultry production. He says, I must say that the Western region has something unique that other regions do not have when it comes to agriculture. Agribusiness is well rooted here. I visited rubber and oil palm plantations, and the extent to which they are giving support to smallholder farmers to ensure that the wealth is distributed to all corners of the region is commendable. And he stressed that this great agribusiness potential cannot be left untapped, but must be taken advantage of.
Talking about the Agric Ministry, something very interesting, and I don't know how people react to this. This is also on citynewsroom.com. Agric Ministry to sell foodstuffs at cheaper prices in Accra. Okay? Now, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture plans to begin selling foodstuffs within its premises to serve the people of Accra. The food will be straight from the farm gate to reduce the price build-up on these items. Speaking at a meeting with farmers in Sehiri in the Western North region, the Sector Minister, Dr. Usu Efriye Akutu, said, quote, the ministry itself was going to take its own initiative. We are going to link up with the farm gate so that we make all the arrangements to ensure that we put up kiosks on our compounds at the ministry, specifically for food from here, Sehiri, and we are going to give it a lot of publicity. So that's what the minister is saying.
Wow.
Okay.
So we'll go to Ministry of Agric Market to buy our food
Yes.
stuff at cheaper prices.
Talking about food production, we know that these days it's affected by galamsey. And yesterday we had a galamsey roundtable. Let me share something that Moses Pencil, who's the Eastern Regional Water Quality Assurance Manager of Ghana Water Company, said yesterday. Now he says that the cost involved in treating water plants in Konongo in the Ashanti region had shot up, disclosing that the company now paid 10 times more to purchase chemicals to treat water for residents in the area. He explained that the Ghana Water Company had to cough up 79,500 cedis every month just to clean water for residents living around Konongo and its environs, as against 8,000 cedis spent in 2016.
Yesterday I was blown away during the presentation, especially of when the Ghana Water Company showed images of the Osino part, which is the Apapem area, the eastern region. Hi! And this is like the Chebi side. They basically dug up the entire town. What is this?
There was a picture I saw where there was this main road. You could tell this was a main road just by it.
They are at it. By the main road. Some of the photos that the Ghana Water Company Limited showed yesterday, Charlie.
If it's that blatant and no...
I'm sure we'll get into that a little later.
Okay, so Dr. Baumia is in the news. He's in the Finder newspaper. He has launched a 5-year development strategy for northern Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has launched the medium-term development strategy for northern Ghana to create economic growth and improve the livelihoods of the people in the area. The MTDS, which will be implemented within the next 5 years, focuses on promoting socio-economic growth and climate change adaptation, whilst unlocking the potential of the northern Savannah ecological zone by building synergies of actors and building the resilience of the people to create wealth and restore the environment. It has 6 thematic areas, which include accelerating human development in northern Ghana through access to quality social services, promoting private sector actions capable of delivering broad-based and inclusive economic growth in northern Ghana by 2025, sustaining livelihoods by promoting capacity development across local communities, biodiversity conservation, and climate justice by 2025, amongst other things. So,
okay. Yeah. Since we're talking about regions, let me give you a story from the Volta region. Ketu South, persons displaced by tidal wave flooding to get new homes. Okay. Now the story says the government has said that 2 million cedis will be allocated for the construction of 15 two-bedroom apartments to resettle some victims displaced by tidal wave flooding in the Ketu South area. Hundreds of residents in the Anglot district, Keta and Ketu South municipalities were displaced by tidal waves some months ago. Answering questions on plans by the government to have the victims relocated, the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, said the first batch of 150 victims would be relocated to the apartments by the end of second quarter of 2023.
Okay. You know about the Journalist Support Fund? Yes, it's making headlines in the Ghanaian Times. In fact, the editorial is dedicated to that. The Ghanaian Times congratulates the Ghana Journalists Association on launching the Journalist Support Fund under the presidency of Mr. Albert Kwabena Jumfo. The objectives of the 2 million Ghana Cedi Support Fund include supporting journalists who have been attacked in the line of duty to cover medical bills and others to pay legal expenses. The Jumfo administration deserves all commendation because the fund was long overdue and its launch exemplifies the administration's care for the welfare of journalists. As Mr. Jumfo said at the launch of the fund, journalists face various challenges in the course of their work, which result in some of them suffering physical, psychological and emotional harm. Some journalists are put in jail, whereas others are even killed. In all such situations, journalists need assistance, and even where journalists die in the course of duty, their families must be given a token to give them some solace and as a way of commiserating with the bereaved families. So read more about that. Journalist Support Fund.
Yes, now Climate Change Conference 27 is happening.
27.
Yes, 100 world leaders are attending. Stories on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. Timothy Nyambe, he's following that one closely. Currently in Tanzania. Hey, Timothy, you're chilling. No? Over 100 heads of state and government have confirmed their participation in this year's United Nations Climate Change Conference in the Egyptian resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh. The political authorities, power blocks, climate experts, negotiators, as well as key stakeholders will be at the global table with cards that experts in the climate space believe could be a make or break in the fight against climate crisis. A high-powered delegation from Ghana will be among the delegates. Ours is led by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abuja-Napor, Minister of Environment, Science and Tech and Innovation, Dr. Kokui Selormey. They are leading our delegation. Now, there are 6 thematic areas for this, and listen to this, just transactions, food security, innovative finance for climate and development, investing in the future of energy, water security, and climate change.
All right, let's wrap it up with one final story. From Pakistan, Imran Khan, former PM, was shot in the leg on Thursday at a protest in the northeast of the country. His condition is said to be stable, and he could potentially leave the hospital in coming days. All right, that's the news.
The blasters have also received some money to help.
Yeah. Good.
But Mr. Faisif, good morning. Where's the budget? Sports Minister.
Where's the budget?
You see, the sports minister should not deceive himself. He's thinking we'll allow him to run over Ghanaians without telling us the budget.
The budget that he will tell us.
No. It won't happen. So those who are close to him, tell him, Tamimu, good morning.
Better
Tell him,
drop the budget.
Drop the budget. It won't happen. You won't go and chop the money and come and tell us about it here. Tell us the budget now.
That's a newspaper review. Thank you very much, Kokui. Thank you very much, Godfred. The City Business News comes up next.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Up next, we asked some Ghanaians what they would do if they were blessed with...
Coming up next is the City Business News, brought to us by Goyle. Now, Goyle is making life so convenient. These days, they accept mobile money for all your fuel purchases. So get to your nearest Goyle station now, buy your fuel and pay via Momo Bank card or the Goyle Go card. Visit their various social media platforms for more. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle Yaya DM. And Access Bank is also bringing us the newspaper review. Now switch your salary to Access Bank's Empower Salary account today, and you could win big in the triple salary promo. Now you automatically enjoy free interest on payday loan, pick now, pay later loans, fly now, pay later loans, and other personal loans. You can also win interesting freebies. DSTV Plus free subscription, you can get 3 times your monthly salary, you can get school fee scholarships, and so much more. Just switch your salary account today to enjoy this and more. The promo runs up until the 30th of April 2023. You can visit ghana.accessbankplc.com to get started, or visit any of their 53 branches across Ghana. Access Bank, more than banking. And if you need to make that urgent call but realize you don't have credit, don't worry. Just dial *506# on MTN to borrow credit on MTN Extra Time. The conversations don't need to end. Just borrow extra time today and enjoy the things you love on your favorite network, MTN. And the City Business News also brought to us by Enterprise. Enterprise Life is your advantage. Michael Obudu is here. He's got the latest from the world of business.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle Enterprise Life, your advantage, Access Bank, modern banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Obudu, and let's head straight to our first story as the Institute for Energy Security, IES, has stated that government's decision to search for reliable and regular sources of affordable petroleum products is questionable. President Akufo-Addo, in his recent address to the nation, noted that steps are being taken to secure reliable and cheap fuel as part of efforts to cushion consumers. But the institute explains that the move by the government is not prudent. Commenting on the issue, the executive director of the Institute for Energy Security, IES, Nana Amoisi VII, rather urged government to put in necessary measures to ensure the Tema Oil refinery is revived.
The quantum of fuel that we consume on a monthly basis, we ask ourselves, is the state able and does it have the capacity to supply safe? We are so much fixated on looking for affordable fuel on the international market. It doesn't work like that. The international market or the refinery market globally works like an equation. This is a market that is transparent. This is a market that works like any other trading platform for commodities. If there is any stock for a reliable fuel at this moment, the BDCs and the OTCs would have been the first to jump on it. Instead of course, we are going to trade that very expectation with something valuable the supplier needs. But truth be told, the decision to resort to reliable and affordable fuel outside Ghana defies logic. We have a country that produces oil. This is a country that has a refinery capacity of 45,000 barrels per stream day. And so if we have to take that decision, then we must first look within. Then, of course, if there is any stop loss, we can restore to the global market. The common sense is to make Tema Oil refinery work at this moment. Why don't we channel some of our own crude oil to our domestic refineries? This is the best way to assure reliability of supply. This is the way to guarantee fuel security for the country.
That was the Chief Executive Officer for the Institute for Energy Security, Nana Amoisi VII. Now, customer service consultant Professor Robert Eboyenson is encouraging businesses to prioritize providing quality customer experience to increase their client retention levels. He argues that satisfied customers have a tendency to continue engaging with the business and in the long run become its advocate as they recount the quality of their experience. He was speaking on the topic, 6 benefits of delivering superior customer experience.
Really understand this issue of customer experience. It's important to agree ab initio that the goal of every forward-looking organization is to impress customers in such an outstanding way that they can't help but keep coming back to you from the same experience. Number two, they are not tempted to switch because what they experience from you is so delightful. Not only are they enjoying it, but they are recommending you to others.
Wow.
So just to go back to the evangelist crusade analogy I was using at the beginning, they become your evangelists. And usually when you are sold on something, you don't defect easily because you are now a champion for what is working.
Sure.
And another thing we need to understand that the customers who are delighted become loyal.
That was customer service consultant Professor Robert Ebo Hinton. The full interview airs on the Citi Business Edition right after this bulletin. Now, on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 13 Ghana cedis. The British pound lost 37 pesos and is selling at 14 cedis 55 pesos. The euro lost 16 pesos and is selling at 12 cedis 69 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus in the capital, the dollar is selling at 13 cedis 80 pesos. The British pound is selling at 15 Ghana cedis and the euro is selling at 13 cedis. Let's now join Gillian Hammer of Data Bank for more on the topic, the difference between commercial and investment banks in terms of products and services.
Many people don't understand the difference between an investment bank and a commercial bank. So today, we'll look at the different products and services offered by each type of institution. A commercial bank offers products such as current and savings accounts, fixed deposits, foreign exchange services, as well as loans to individuals and institutions. An investment bank, on the other hand, may offer collective investment schemes such as unit trusts or mutual funds like M Fund or B Fund. An investment bank may also offer brokerage services that include the purchase or sale of treasury bills, bonds, or shares listed on a stock exchange. Some offer corporate advisory services to help companies that may want to get listed on the stock market or do a private placement, rights issue, or bond issue. Many investment banks also manage pension and institutional funds. Please note, however, that some commercial banks also have investment banking subsidiaries. However, that subsidiary must be a separately registered company and will be regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission instead of the Bank of Ghana.
That was Gillian Hammer of Data Bank, and that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goal, Enterprise Life, Your Advantage Access Bank, More Than Banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Obudu. Thank you for listening. Have a good business day, and as always, please stay safe.
A Razi TME, a Razi increment in my salary. This is all I ask this season. A Razi Bwami.
Mpaibo Mbappe, please stop disturbing God and switch your salary account to Access Bank.
Visa, MasterCard, or GH Link cards. You can also use the CowBank app. You can also use the CowNet solutions to support you and your business. Call 0800 500 500, chat with CowBank online, or send an email customercare@cowbank.net. You can visit cowbank.net to know more. CowBank, forward together. Now experience real-time customer care at your convenience using Vodafone Ghana's digital channels. You can download the My Vodafone app on Google Play Store, the App Store, the Huawei Gallery. Visit myvodafone.vodafone.com.gh. For customer support, say hello to Toby on WhatsApp 0501 000 300 or via SMS on 655. On Facebook Messenger, you can also tweet at Vodafone on @AskVodafone. GH, or send your queries via email to info.gh@vodafone.com. Vodafone, further together. And people are always searching for convenience, a simple and easy life, and Pokia gives you just that. She's a virtual assistant from Star Assurance, and she gives you the ability to be anywhere and still purchase or renew your motor insurance at any time, and she responds quickly and effectively to your specific needs. Chat with Pokia today on WhatsApp number 0242436160 or dial short code *713 *222# and enjoy smooth and quick service. Star Assurance is your solid partner. The City Business Edition is next. And we are continuing our conversation with Bob Hinton, Professor Bobby Hinton. And today we are talking about 6 benefits of delivering superior customer experiences. So grab your pens and notebooks and take down a few pointers as we serve you another, as to give you another episode of the City Business Edition. We are talking to Professor Bobby Hinton on 6 benefits of delivering superior customer experiences.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna get me some love so bad. My girl, sweet girl, my girl.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of the City Business Edition here on 97.3 City FM, and I am your host Michael Obodu, and we are continuing our conversation on quality customer service and all you need to know about it. And I'm sure if you've tuned in over the past couple of weeks, you definitely must have been very informed with the great conversation we've had with Professor Hinton, who's the Pro-Vice Chancellor for the Ghana Technology University. Have I turned the name upside down?
Ghana Communication Technology University, GCTU for short.
Awesome.
GCTU.
Thank you for the clarification.
Absolutely.
All right, Prof, it's good to have you back.
It's always a pleasure to be here, sir.
Yeah, you're a big man. You're a big man. The quality of feedback I've gotten from the interview so far, at this point, I must award you a plaque.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be expecting it, you know.
Hey, you have committed.
I've also received tremendous feedback. The only challenge is that people keep asking me, so Professor Hinton, where is the book? Where is the book? And I keep explaining to them that you can just go to Amazon and order. Then I hear, hey, but Prof, isn't there a bookshop I can walk into and get the book? And I keep explaining that when you work with international publishers, the books are sold to a global audience. So it's not like I can buy 100 copies, put it in my car boot and move around the city like an itinerant preacher. You know, maybe I should consider that. So if somebody is listening will sponsor the purchase of the books, I can go on customer service crusades across Africa. The way my bishop goes across the continent preaching, maybe I can also become a customer service evangelist. So if you are listening and you can buy 100 copies, just buy from me. I'll go on the road because Africa desperately needs a service revolution, and I'm very happy to champion it.
Fantastic, fantastic. So today we are focusing on 6 benefits of delivering superior customer experience.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a loaded topic, pal.
Yeah, it is. It is. And in the scheme of things, the phrase customer experience seems like a hot thing now, and all those who are championing it now say it's an evolution from customer service, which is like a one-time interaction. And the way they conceptualize customer experience is that it spans a whole gamut of organizational activity. So it's not just a one-time thing. Interestingly, in all my time dealing with service excellence, customer management issues, I think the way I have always thought about customer management, customer service is that it's a cultural issue. It's about a strategic focus. So maybe I have lived 20 years ahead of my time because the way people talk about customer experience now, that's the way I've always spoken about customer service for the last 20, 25 years. So I'm very happy to see the revolution now. But trust me, most of what's being proposed now are things I have believed in forever. And you know, to really understand this issue of customer experience, it's important to agree ab initio that the goal of every forward-looking organization is to impress customers in such an outstanding way that they can't help but keep coming back to you from the same experience. Number two, they are not tempted to switch because what they experience from you is so delightful. Not only are they enjoying it, but they are recommending you to others. Wow. So just to go back to the evangelist crusade analogy I was using at the beginning, they become your evangelists. And usually when you are sold on something, you don't defect easily because you are now a champion for what is working. True. And another thing we need to understand that the customers who are delighted become loyal. And anytime we talk about customer experience, there's something I believe we sometimes lose sight of. And by the way, in the spirit of preaching and evangelism, today I'm speaking from chapter 5 of my book. Yeah, it's a very cool thing when you go to church on Sunday and you hear that today you can go to chapter 6 of the bishop's book. Sure. So chapter 5 of my book is entitled Managing Customers. And the book is entitled Customer Service Essentials, Lessons for Africa and Beyond. So please, I want to encourage you again to get a copy. And in the book, for every chapter, I have an opening quotation. Okay. And if you look in the book, there's a quotation from Sam Walton, famous business guru, and he says, the goal of every company is to have customer service that is not just the best, but is legendary. Wow. So everybody should be pushing for legendary in 2022, not just the best. In chapter 5 of my book, Customer Service Essentials, Lessons for Africa and Beyond, and in chapter 5, that is entitled Managing Customers, there's a quotation there from Sam Walton. He said that the goal of a company is to have customer service that is not just the best, but it's legendary. And so my admonition to all your city listeners is that in the 2022 era we are operating in, best doesn't work. We are all pushing for legendary. That's profound. It is very profound. It is very profound. And the reason why it's so profound is that, you see, there was a time when 20, 30 years ago, you probably would go and buy a pair of Bata sandals, or you go and buy something from Kingsway back in the day. And you probably would buy because the options are not that many. In this globalized digital age, for anything you want to buy in Laboni or Osu, there are so many competitors, not just in Ghana, West Africa, Africa alone, but there are competitors from China. There are some from Hong Kong, some from the UK, some from the US, offering the same product, sometimes cheaper than how you would find that product on Oxford Street. So when that lady in the shop is belligerent, she's bellicose, she's unhappy with you, you walk out of the street in Osu, and as you get where the cars are passed, you can take your phone and order the same product, and it will be delivered to you in Abilingbe. So that's how come nowadays we don't even settle for best. We strive for legendary. And so as 2023 is coming, I just want to encourage all senior executives listening to me that the kind of competition we are faced with, ordinary doesn't cut it. Best is not even enough. We are all pushing for legendary. But before we get to legendary, we need to understand something. I think it's a revelation that may be lost on some people, because when it comes to customer experience, developing loyal customers, boosting customer retention, there's something we call customer participation. Okay. Now, customer participation refers to the roles that customers play during a service encounter. So, for example, if you are going to do your yearly medical, there are some steps you need to take. There's a mandatory fasting period. There are some things you need to do so that by the time you do the plethora of tests, the results you get to be correct. And the doctor can have a sensible conversation with you. That's quite different from ordering a pair of hair clippers online and delivered to your house. Now, because there are differences when it comes to customer participation in service delivery, it's important to note that for any type of service you deliver, customer participation can be active or it can be passive.
Okay.
It can be high or it can be low. And the intensity of the participation is determined by the kind of service you're delivering.
Okay.
Broadly speaking, we have what we call low participation, we have moderate participation, and we have high participation. So it's low, moderate, high. Now, when it comes to low customer service participation, service employees and service systems, they do all the work. Products are standardized. There's a standard inventory system. You just order, it comes. So, for instance, if you go to watch a movie, you just enter, you are processed, you walk, you go out. You don't really do much. So, for that kind of service delivery, the service participation is fairly low. But let's come to moderate. With moderate participation, we require a little more of the customers in the co-production of the service.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you want an accountant to do your taxes for you, there's a certain level of information you need to give the accountant in order that they do a robust assessment for you. Because if they don't get that level of information from you, the returns they will compute for you will be inaccurate.
Sure.
So that's moderate. In high participation services, the consumer almost produces the product themselves. So you want to lose 23.5 kilos in 2023. So you go and sign up to a gymnasium. Trust me, the level of discipline you need to apply from a diet perspective, exercise regime, consistency is very high. So for a gymnasium service, the consumer has to provide a lot of input for the final outcome to be a positive one. Depending, therefore, on the level of customer participation required, you, the service provider, need to understand the inputs you need to give them, the education you need to give them, so that they can be successful co-producers of the service.
Okay.
So it's important you understand that, because when it's routine and it's standardized, you don't need to do much. I mean, it will get done anyway. But when it requires you to help a customer through a complex surgical procedure, even the way you do the admonition, the counseling alone can make the person more sick or get them to become better. So there you need to exercise a lot of care in trying to get this customer to come around. Again, before I get to the 6 benefits of delivering superior customer experiences, I need to also today speak for customers who become difficult, because sometimes we say things like, oh, this man is too difficult, oh, this man is too difficult. But really, Michael, sometimes we are the ones who cause customers to be difficult.
Okay.
So before I get to the 6 benefits of customer experiences, let me tell you 6 ways we, as service providers, also create difficult customers.
So you're basically saying that there are customers that aren't difficult by nature.
Yes, but we have engendered it. We have triggered it. We have caused them to become difficult human beings. We are the problem. So let me tell you 6 ways. And I need to do that as a precursor, because if I tell you what you are doing to make them angry, then you can start repenting before I come to the benefits of customer experiences. Yes.
Point number 1.
Rudeness to the customer. Rude. Totally rude. Totally rude. One reason that accounts for customers getting extremely difficult is when we are rude to them. Sometimes this takes place knowingly or unknowingly. So sometimes the customer wants reasonable information. And then instead of providing the information, we say things like, go here and go and get it. Why should I go and get it? We can toss customers around so much, it becomes a total insult. And sometimes we are not even aware we are doing that. You can call a company and be passed around 6 departments and end up with the person you spoke to the first instance because they keep saying, this is not me, I'm passing. Then eventually you hear a name and the lady said, this is Erisi, how can I help you? I'm like, Erisi, this is the 6th person I'm talking to. I thought you said this was this department's fault. So we do that sometimes and it's very problematic. So rudeness is not only when you shout at the customer.
Wow.
When you give the customer the roundaround, it's also construed as rudeness. So one is rudeness to the customer. Number 2 is...
Let me backtrack a bit. So you're basically saying that if we make the system through which we even help the customers complex, we are being rude to them.
Absolutely rude to them.
Wow.
Because the customers don't know a system. They know a credible human interface. So if the human interface is using the system to confuse them, that is total rudeness.
Wow.
And you see, customers don't have time really. But nowadays, we are hard pressed for time at every level. So we need to be very careful in that regard. So rudeness is one. Number 2, inattentive staff. Totally inattentive. No one is listening to the customer. The customer feels neglected. Sometimes we say things like, we'll get back to you later. What does that mean? In one of the earlier sessions, I said 3 things must happen in any service encounter. What to do, who to do, when to do. That still applies today.
Sure.
Anytime you apply that formula, inattentiveness is not an option. Because as soon as you commit to deadlines, who to do and what to do, it means you are going to have a certain microscopic focus on the issue at hand and ensure that things are followed through to the end. Sometimes there's nothing more frustrating than an inattentive person. You have 7 policies with an insurance company. You ask for a statement on 3, and they send you the statements on the 4 you haven't asked for, and they've emailed it to you. It's absolutely ludicrous. And sometimes I get the sense it's pressure. I've heard somebody say to me once, Professor Einstein, when we started with you, we were just 200 customers. Now we are nearly 20,000. And therefore, the level of care we used to give you, we can't give you anymore. That's not correct. I mean, if you believe that you can't provide me a certain level of care, then let me walk so that I know that you're not interested in the relationship anymore. But once I'm in the relationship, inattentiveness is not an option. So 1, rudeness to the customer. 2, inattentiveness. 3, expectations not met. Expectations not met. Expectations not met.
Even before you continue, it looks like we are all rude business people.
No, we need to do a thorough self-examination. Everybody knows if you've done any type of service training, customer excellence training, customer experience training, that we under-promise and over-deliver. Everybody in this world knows that. Under-promise, over-deliver. However, the number of times we fail to live by this mantra we all are aware of is totally mind-boggling. And what then becomes more problematic is that I think in one of the earlier sessions, I spoke about something called the service triangle, where at the apex, you have a service entity making promises to a certain external customer. On the opposite side of the triangle, you have what we call enablement of the promises. At the base is delivery. So one side is the making, the opposite side is the enablement. At the base of the triangle, we have the delivery. Now in Africa, the easiest component of that service triangle is the making of the promises. Come to us for the best service. We are the best in town. We will love you more than any other. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. I was doing some work last week for a client, and I did a small exercise I've done for the last 20 years with shockingly similar results. Here's what I do. I tell everybody, go to your website. Then they go to the website. Then I say, okay, everybody write down the vision and the mission of the organization. They write it down. Then I tell them, do you have values? Some say yes, some say no. I say, write it. They write it down, and that's okay. So given all the values, we'll be professional. We'll give you the most experienced professionals here. We are reliable. We'll do this. Can all of you in this training seminar tell me, when you wake up from bed every morning, how exactly do you live professionalism? How do you live reliability? How do you live thoroughness? Because at Standard Bank, reliability might be different from Citi FM's reliability.
Sure.
So within the context of the Stanbic DNA, reliability will mean maybe 5 or 6 different observable behaviors. CTFM might be 3 with the same name, reliability. So my question is, I asked them, all these promises on your website, vision, mission, values, do you know they represent promises to your end user? Then they'll look at me. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not aware that the company has gone to make these promises over your head. When you come to work, you don't know you are being held to it. You'll be like, wow, bro, wow. And I'm like, yeah, wow. Think about it. So anytime I visit your website, anything there that you are saying constitutes a promise to me as a customer. It's your job then to ensure that you train your various internal customer audiences, your employees, to ensure that they are well equipped to deliver on the expectations you've created by virtue of the promises on your website. That's a big lacuna on this beautiful continent of Africa. There's such a disconnect between mission, vision, values, all the big things we put on our websites versus your teller, versus your storefront attendant, versus the guy pumping gas at the station. He has no clue. So here he is being held to expectations he's not even been told exist. How on earth will he meet them when the rubber meets the road? So these are things that we need to take cognizance of. So expectations not being met is also one fertile way to get customers to be rude. Number 4, delay or failure in service delivery. Delay or failure in service delivery. Sometimes it amazes me why we think lateness is not a problem in Africa. How that is normal, I don't get it. In fact, when you are late to a meeting, apologies have stopped being rendered because lateness is fashionable, being on time is not. I don't know how we got here as a continent. And you see, you don't know the kind of customer you are dealing with. This guy might be a very fastidious person who is 9 for 9, 10 for 10. So you can't take those your issues and go and molest this customer. It's totally unacceptable. So we need to also understand that time consciousness matters in order to deliver service that is legendary and not even just the best. So let me now move into my main topic for today, which is 6 benefits of customer experiences or delivering superior customer experiences. Because I'm a scholar, let me tell you some definitions of customer experiences so that our listeners can know what it means.
Sure.
Customer experience management is a deliberate act of putting the customer at the center of a firm's strategic focus. Putting the customer at the center of a firm's or an institution's strategic focus.
Strategic focus.
Absolutely. So customer experience is a holistic concept that encompasses every aspect of a company's offering, holistic process. Now, it's very important to clarify that customer experience, it has to do with the organization of customer interactions through the entire life cycle of the customer at every organizational touch point. So online, offline, when I'm approaching to look at the advert on Twitter or on YouTube, when I'm making the initial call, to when I visit you or order online, to when you fill the order, to after sales issues, to repeat purchase issues, all those various touch points need a certain level of excellent customer experiences. Now, customer experience is supposed to be something that we deliver throughout the customer's journey with us. And some customer experience scholars argue that we have what we also call emotional journey mapping, where we check at every point the kind of emotional interactions we're having with you. Because like I said in an earlier presentation with you, I said every good brand is an emotional selling proposition, a functional selling proposition. So functional is the product, the features, what we buy. Emotional is how I feel, the kind of emotions you create when I'm purchasing, and how that builds on my satisfaction levels after I've consumed the product. Okay, so why does customer experience matter? Well, I'll share with you 6 reasons why. Number 1, customer experience matters because it improves customer satisfaction. We are delivering it very, very well. It improves customer satisfaction. McKinsey did some work. The famous global consulting firm McKinsey did some work a couple of years ago. And they found that companies focused on maximizing satisfaction with regard to the entire customer life cycle have the potential to increase customer satisfaction by 20%. So when you focus on customers, understand in a certain granular fashion all their needs, you deliver and exceed them, then you push for satisfaction, you push for delight, you earn legendary. So number one, improves customer satisfaction. Number two, it helps to build higher customer loyalty.
Okay.
So when executed flawlessly, your customer experience should become a key point of differentiator from competitors. Absolutely.
Wow.
Because when you create an experience that truly impresses customers and exceeds expectations, this ensures that they want to continue to do business with you over and over and over again. So a superior customer experience then becomes a unique differentiator. And I mean, it's important to know that your competitors wake up on a daily basis also trying to outperform you. So this is so important because if you want to prevent customer switching, then the key antidote is ensuring that your customer experience is world-class so you can build superior customer loyalty.
Wow.
Number three, when you deliver superior customer experiences, it increases customer advocacy and referrals. Customer advocacy and referrals. Because when the expectations you set are exceeded, Michael, people don't just have good experiences. The experiences become memorable for them, and they share these very easily. I remember one time I went to a bank and a particular teller totally delighted me. I went on Twitter and told the whole world.
Sure.
Now, apparently, the headquarters of the bank saw it and broadcast it across the entire bank network and made the argument that if one of Africa's leading marketing scholars says you are delivering good service, then clearly you are doing a good job. And I was so happy for the lady because I don't think she came to work expecting that she'll be celebrated within the organization. But it was good. I will recommend that bank any day because what they did was legendary, not just for me, but in celebrating the lady who celebrated me, I'm double happy with them.
Sure.
So it's very easy to do advocacy and referrals anytime people go above and beyond. When you go above and beyond, you turn the customer into a regular customer, into a customer advocate. We are looking for advocates, not just customers.
Sure.
Number four, if you deliver superior customer experiences, you reduce customer churn. And churn is the rate at which you lose profitable customers in relation to the rate at which you lose not so profitable ones. In service marketing, we have something we call the leaky bucket theory. The leaky bucket theory. The leaky bucket theory has a simple hypothesis. Every entity is like a bucket with a small hole at the bottom. So you will certainly lose some customers at a point. But here's the thing. The goal of world-class service organizations is that you keep reducing the size of that hole and making it smaller and smaller and smaller whilst you pour into the bucket more and more profitable customers. So even though you leak, you must leak so little that the rate at which you leak becomes incomparable. It becomes infinitesimal. It becomes negligible compared to the rate at which you are adding profitable customers at the top. Now, you can only achieve this if your customer experience is world-class, because it means that even though you may lose some, the rate at which you lose is so small that when you compare it to the rate at which you are adding profitable customers, you are in a positive situation. So that's what it means by reducing customer churn. Now, Accenture, another global consulting behemoth, also did some work some time ago, and they produced something called the Global Customer Satisfaction Report. And they found that price is not the main reason for customer churn. The report noted that the overall poor quality of customer service is the main reason for customer churn and customer attrition. That's the main reason. So focusing on customer experience will eliminate the areas where you have poor service. When these lapses are removed, you reduce churn. So that's number four. Number one, improves customer satisfaction. Number two, fosters customer loyalty. Number 3, increases customer advocacy and referrals. Number 4, reduces customer churn. So number 5 is increases revenues and sales. That's a no-brainer. I mean, if customers are happy, they'll buy more, they'll repeat purchases, they'll recommend you. And there was a customer experience impact report way back 2011. That's a long time ago. Now, I like making these allusions to some of the old literature because I want to establish, because when people are delighted with you, they value the service you give them, they'll pay more for the value. Sure. So if we want to be profitable, we can't keep working with cut the price, cut the price, cut the price. If you keep doing that, look at the way the world has become topsy-turvy. You can't afford to be cutting prices because even now, that money you had 3 months ago, today the value has gone down a bit. So it can't be cutting price. So we need to focus more on improving the customer experiences so that our revenue base is solidified and our sales goes up. The last and probably the most obvious is that when you deliver superior customer experiences, it delivers you a competitive advantage. Companies that have embraced customer experience as a way to obtain sustainable competitive advantages are the ones that are really thriving and doing well. Look, there are a few companies that are like a paradox. We say the service is bad, but they are doing well. They are not the norm. So you can't afford to say that, oh, these ones also exist. What you'll be pushing for is doing so well with customer experience that is what makes people remember you, and then they want to keep coming back to you over and over and over again. Now, if we have time, I can quickly run through principles of great customer experiences, and we can wrap with that. Number 1, understand your customer. 10 principles of great customer experiences. Understand your customer. Who are you targeting? How do you reach them? Does your product interest them? Times are changing. Interests are changing. Are you changing with your customer? What's the quality of your digital assets? Is your website welcoming? What is your social media interactivity like? You need to deal with these matters. So number 1, understand your customer. 10 principles of great customer experiences. Number 2, know that first impressions are real and lasting.
Wow. Yeah, we touched on that.
We touched on that, exactly. So I need to repeat it because it bears repeating. Moments of truth are 10 to 15-second opportunities to make a first-time positive and lasting impression in any service encounter. 10 to 15 seconds. So when you do well, you create a moment of magic. When you fail, you create a moment of misery. So it's important that from board chair to front desk assistant, for everybody to understand that first impressions are real and they are lasting. Because you have only 5 to 10 seconds to make a first-time positive and lasting impression. So if you want to win new profitable customers, know that first impressions count and they are lasting. Number 3, do what you say you are going to do. Do what you say you are going to do.
No matter what.
No matter what. And this is a good practice in all things, especially with customer experience delivery. Because honesty builds trust. And when you deliver on your promises, it creates trust in the minds of your customers. And trust is crucial. Building trust is the cornerstone of any lasting relationship with the customer, and customer loyalty should be the goal. So number 3, do what you say you are going to do, because trust matters in customer loyalty. Number 4, under promise, over deliver. I'm back to it.
Under promise,
over deliver.
Over deliver.
When it comes to customer experiences, you always have to be the hero. And a hero typically goes above and beyond the call of duty. It's your job to be the hero in every service encounter. Please, giving a customer more than you promised gives the service firm an edge in the customer's eyes. Next point, listen to your customer. This appears to be a difficult skill, Michael. But listening to and understanding your customers' wants and needs will help you to customize products and services to suit them.
Prof, what really is listening to your customer?
The guy buys watches from you every day. He's there Saturday at 6:27 a.m. because he doesn't want the queue that comes with buy watches from you at airport. Anytime he gets there, he's gushing about his wife and his children. Clearly, this guy is a family man. So the standard greeting is, hey, Kofi, you're welcome. how's mommy doing today? And the guy is glowing. Oh, mommy, last week she even traveled to Dubai. You know, she has a side business doing fabrics.
Wow.
That's very different from somebody who comes and he squeezes his face. He wants you to hurry up and give him the watches so that he'll go.
That's it.
So you are observing them, you are listening to them. And that watches seller doesn't have a big marketing research department, doesn't have a customer experience team who went to school in some Ivy League place. This is a normal human being trying to make money and survive in today's Ghana. And he's observing, she's observing and listening to everybody, the things they bring. Look, there are watches sellers who know I'm a professor.
Okay.
When I don't appear, they'll ask my wife, is Prof there? They'll ask her about Prof. I mean, it counts for something. I mean, you must be savvy enough to sort of understand who Prof is married to or who is married to. It's small things, but it's all listening.
Sure.
That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Wow. We are supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. And when you listen well, you become a customer champion because you notice things others don't notice. So this same customer goes somewhere, they are treated indifferently. When they appear, say, Professor, you are back. I hear you are in Zimbabwe. How was that conference? Wow, this person knows it's working for me. So you just need to be awake. And listening sometimes in today's digital age is not just listening to somebody speak.
Okay.
Even being connected to them on social media, it's also listening to them because they are posting stuff, they are saying stuff. It's also listening to them. So when the person appears, you know what they said on LinkedIn in the last 10 days. That alone is further something for new conversation.
Sure.
So listening is both brick and mortar, and listening is also digital. Wow. So we can use all manner of avenues to listen to our customer nowadays. And it's an indispensable tool, a great principle for delivering excellent customer experiences.
Wow.
The next issue is follow up with the customer. Follow up.
Like church, eh?
Absolutely, like church. Because following up can make a great difference between 1 sale and 52 sales. Because the magic is never in the sale, it's always in the after sale. So following up, showing concern, gives the customer the idea that you're not just interested in the check, but you're interested in the value you deliver to that customer and the input it makes into their own business or their lives.
Okay.
Very, very important. Follow up. So follow up makes a big difference. Number 7. Know that you are subjectively communicating with your customer every moment of the day. You are communicating every moment of the day. Listen, everything we present to the world is communication to the world. Your websites, your social media platforms, your outdoor advertising, the condition of your parking lot, the body language of the receptionist, every customer touch point matters. And it's our job. There's a separate training I do on how to build customer experience strategy. And there I talk about doing what we call a touch point audit. So you can create a touch point map. And you need that when you are developing a customer experience strategy, because if you don't understand the touch point maps, you know where it matters and where to strengthen when it comes to the various touch points you have. And you need a touch point map also when you are developing what we call a customer experience dashboard, where you are monitoring how you are delivering service. But no, the point is, know that you are communicating with the customer every moment of the day, whether you like it or not. Point number 8, let your customers know you truly appreciate their business.
Okay.
Nothing fascinates me more than institutions that expect me to know they are grateful because I gave them business. How will I know if you didn't say it? How will I know? So saying thank you, it's very important and crucial. There are people who were a blessing to me 27 years ago. I'm still saying thank you till today. It's very important. So let your customer, you see, never underestimate the power of thanking your customers for their business. Because customers have choices and they'll choose your competitor if you stop saying thank you. Last 2 points, the little things matter. It is surprising how little things make a difference to customers. Thank you. When can we contact you again? A simple email to say, it was good you came through today, have a blessed day. I know people who would issue an invoice after I left the shop and say hello to you after you're gone. Little things matter. So let's keep our eyes on the big things and the little things at the same time. Last point, and I'll close the session. If something negative happens, make it right immediately.
Wow.
If something negative, when a service lapse occurs, make it right immediately. Because when customers complain, they expect speedy action. When you delay, it gives a sense of nonchalance, disconnection, and then they feel you don't care for them. So we've looked at 6 reasons why customer experience matters and 10 principles of great customer experiences. And I'm very confident your listeners will have something to take home with them. And we'll come back again to them very soon with more explosive ideas on customer experience management in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. This has literally been a lecture. Prof, you're too much.
Thank you, sir.
I feel you. Thank you so much for your time today again. And I'm sure the listeners are also very elated with all the quality information you shared with us today. Why customer service is important. 10 principles of good customer service. I'm sure these principles, you can listen later on our SoundCloud account when we upload the audio. If you can type it, print it, post it in your office so that you can constantly engage with it and review whatever you are doing. But well, that has been another edition of the City Business Edition here on 97.3 City FM, where we were engaging with Professor Hinson, Professor Robert Ebo Hinson, the Pro Vice Chancellor for Ghana Communications Technology University. He has over 24 years of experience in the service industry and has authored several books, one of them which he just spoke to us from on the topic for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you same time next week. My name is Michael Obodu. As always, please stay safe and stay informed. Bye-bye.
My girl, sweet girl, my girl.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Hey, do you know who sorted out my car insurance through a simple chat? No stress, no wahala.
Oh, you're talking about Pokia. She did save for me.
Oh yeah, that's my Pokia. She's smart, attentive, and provides quick solutions to all your insuring needs. Plus, she has lots of freebies and branded items to give out.
Get exciting gifts when you buy or renew your motor policy with Star Assurance through Pokua. Whether it's a comprehensive or third party, talk to Pokua today. WhatsApp Pokua on 0242-426160 or dial *713*222#. Terms and conditions apply. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Somebody didn't wait me out today to be more some coffee. Somebody didn't wait me out today to be some coffee. See, I do a mommy, use some coffee spices. Breakfast as through with some kitchen, ya get through. A poem from Misabi, natural.
This advert is FDA approved.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xBet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Introducing the fresh range of Samsung phones. The all-new Samsung Galaxy A04s. Comes with a crystal clear 6.5-inch display, awesome 50-megapixel camera, and 5-megapixel front camera, awesome 5000 mAh battery, and all the swag you get from a Samsung Galaxy phone. That means you can capture life's great moments, see every detail of your favorite reels and videos, and do all this with all-day battery power. The Samsung Galaxy A04s is the new kid in town, and you just want to touch it. Touch it, touch it, touch it. Visit the nearest Samsung shop or authorized phone dealer to get your Samsung Galaxy A04s and experience the first of Samsung's new range of phones. Touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Shut up.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Benjamin Nketia here with the Friday edition of Kickoff, and Kickoff is proudly brought to us by Lecheho. In the headlines, it's March Week 5 in the Bet Power Ghana Premier League. Chelsea, they take on Man United in the top liner in the English Premier League this weekend. Of course, there'll be live radio commentary right here on 97.3 Citi FM. And in the NBA, there were wins for the Magic and the Denver Nuggets. Let's start off with some national team-related stuff. And Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf has assured Ghanaians that the $2 million sponsorship from MTN will to support the Black Stars for the World Cup campaign will be put to good use. The one-year deal runs through Qatar 2022 until the end of Ghana's participation at the 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast.
It is also important for this huge investment by MTN to be put to judicious use so that it will make the desired impact on the team. As a sector minister, I want to assure the entire country that as the custodian of every penny for the national team, just like every other corporate support, we will continue to receive. The funds will put to judicious use. We cannot thank MTN enough for their remarkable support, especially at this time of deep global economic challenges.
Meanwhile, GFA President Keto Kreku says the money will help the Black Stars preparations for Qatar.
Ghana will be represented by 26 warriors. Warriors who go out of the pitch or out on the pitch to play for our red, yellow, and green colors. 26 warriors who are ready to also write their names in the history books. 26 warriors who are ready to do more than their predecessors have done. And they are encouraged by this singular feat and support from MTN. We will go to Qatar and the team will play with passion. The team, like I said, will play for the shirt, and the team will make our dear nation great and strong.
GFA President Keto Kreku speaking there. Let's get to Match Week 5 in the Ghana Premier League. Dreams FC take on Tamale City. Kotoku Royals will be up against Accra Hearts of Oak. There's Accra Lions also up against Nswatraman Football Club. Asante Kotoko will engage Samatex at the Babayara Stadium. There's Brekum Chelsea versus Real Tamale United. Adriana Stars will have a showdown with Lagos City's Karela take on Beche. Bibiani Gold Stars take on King Faisal, and Great Olympics will be up against Mediama Sporting Club. Let's move on to some other stuff, and let's get to Match Week 15 in the EPL. Leeds United take on AFC Bournemouth. There's Manchester City versus Fulham. Nottingham Forest take on Brentford. Wolves take on Brighton. Everton will be up against Leicester. On Sunday, Chelsea take on Arsenal and not Man United, like I said in my headline. So it's Chelsea versus Arsenal. It's a big game. That game is at Stamford Bridge. There's also Aston Villa versus Man United. There's Southampton versus Newcastle. There's West Ham versus Crystal Palace. And there's Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. So two big games this weekend. Let's get to some other news. In Germany, forward Timo Werner is out of the World Cup in Qatar after suffering an ankle injury that will keep him out until 2023. The 26-year-old was withdrawn after 19 minutes of RB Leipzig's 4-0 Champions League win over Shakhtar Donetsk in midweek. The former Chelsea striker who has returned to form this term has scored 24 goals in 55 appearances for Germany. Now, Germany's first World Cup match is against Japan on November 23. And some football news as well. Gerard Piqué has announced his retirement from professional football and says his final game will be Barcelona's match against Almeria at the Camp Nou tomorrow. Now, the 35-year-old, a 3-time Champions League and 8-time La Liga winner with our boyhood club Barcelona, revealed the news in a video message posted on his social media. Piqué, who won 102 caps for Spain and helped them to victory in the 2010 World Cup, has become a peripheral figure for Barcelona this season, making only 5 starts all campaign. So Gerard Piqué says that he's hanging it up after tomorrow's game. Let's finish off with some basketball. The Golden State Warriors, they slipped to yet another defeat, this time to the Orlando Magic, 129-130. So a single point is how that game ended. And then the OKC Thunder also lost at home to the Denver Nuggets. That's all for this morning's edition of Kickoff. My name is Benjamin Nketia. Kickoff was brought to us by Lesheho. There's more sports at citysportsonline.com.
Trust the process. The biggest things often start small. No matter where you are now, the most important decision you will make today is knowing where you'll be tomorrow. All you have to do is take the next step, believe in your journey, and go with passion. Because when you go with passion, you go big. You explore the possibilities. You create the tomorrow of your dreams. So come along and let's go big with our passion. Apply for a loan now and power your ambitions. Get plugged in. Let's go big. Powered by Lesheho.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk, creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kinky, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy Plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk. This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Christy, how long have we been doing these businesses?
Oh, just about.
Hey, Christy, stop. How long are we going to stay calling ourselves small businesses?
Oh, but small.
Christy, the small is enough. It's our time, oh. Let's move forward. The volumes you are doing now are okay, but imagine doing more. You can expand this warehouse, bring in more brands. Look, it's time, Christy. Let's grow.
Hey, but where are you going?
To Cal Bank. Christy, I said it's our time.
Wait for me, eh?
Yes, woman, it's your time to grow with CalBank Women's Banking. With specialized products and services, get easy access to funds for the import and clearing of goods, invoice discounting and funds for local purchase orders to keep the cash flowing and your business growing. Sign up for CalBank Women's Banking today. Let's take your business to the next level. Woman, it's your time. CalBank, forward together.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Come on. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like worth living, should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, killing, he's a hero. Get it to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother.
8, still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Live on your dial, City 97.3 FM. The messages are welcome on 0549 986 996.
Oh yeah. You gotta make a change.
But have you updated your records with Lecheho? As a directive from the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana card is now the only accepted ID for all financial transactions. Visit any Lecheho branch near you to update your records with your Ghana card to enable Lecheho serve you faster and better. You can send a WhatsApp message to 0574065958 or 0302 208 333. Lecheho, let's improve lives. Creamy Plus evaporated milk takes you back to the original creamy taste of evaporated milk, and it's a great complement to your tea, coffee, gari, soaking, smash cake, and all your cereals. It has essential vitamins and it contains vegetable fat, and is gentler on the stomach. You can find Creamy Plus to buy in all supermarkets, Bachona, Total, and Go shops. You can also get to Less Farm distributors if you want to buy in bulk on 0501 682 522, 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo in Dansoman on 0245 162 747. And the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League is here. Watch and support the goodness of, because a nourished new season is here. Follow every pass, tackle, and goal as our ladies add some style to fuel your passion for football. Follow the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League on our social channels, hashtag Malta Guinness WPL, and watch the matches live on Max TV every week.
Oh yeah.
Kuku, you are destined for greatness. We're praying for God's continuous protection, guidance, and blessings for you. He's at Christian Homeschool in Dansoman. Today's state teacher. If you intelligence and stubbornness in one bundle of energy. This nephew of mine. So this is coming from your boy squad. That's his brothers, from your dad, Kwabna, from your mom, Benny, from your aunties, Mame Brago, Lawe, from me, from everybody. Today, I think I might just surprise him and do something nice. Yeah. But happy birthday to you, Ura Kweku, or saying from grandparents, from everybody.
I see.
That's the way it is. Come on.
AKA Rabna at Usu Blue Gate. Good health and more years from me.
That's just the way it is.
And happy birthday to our one and only Kokui Selormey Hansen. Well, I don't know where she is. I'm sure she happy birthday to Kokui.
Yeah, like she's disappeared on us.
I don't know where she's run away to.
We'll wait and sing a happy birthday.
Yeah, she'll sing her own happy birthday. If you have a good, that's what happens. We can't sing happy birthday. You will sing your own happy birthday.
Tonight, and the only time we chill is when we kill each other. It takes skill to be real time to heal each other. And although it seems evident.
City is inviting you to their 2022 edition of the Family Day. Apollonia City is Accra's newest $250 million city equipped with state-of-the-art infrastructure. Come and network with other like-minded executives and business owners and take a tour of our futuristic city as we explore the most viable investment options in today's tricky market. There'll be a lot of good food, very good music, bouncy castles for the kids, and so much more. Join us on Saturday, November 12th at the Adumoa place located at the heart of Apollonia City. There'll be buses leaving the Accra Mall at 8 a.m. See you there. And Rachel Ko, your favorite cocoa beverage from the finest Ghana cocoa, is back with the National Essay Competition. There's a total of 100,000 CDs in cash prizes up for grabs to all junior high and upper primary pupils. Now, write an essay describing 5 things you'd like to see to help improve access to basic education in Ghana. The essay must be handwritten, not less than 750 words for junior high pupils and 600 words, for upper primary pupils. Submit your essay together with empty packs of either Richoko 1 kg or 500 gram or 5 packs of Richoko 20 gram and complete contact information to selected vantage points across the country. The deadline for submission of entries is the 19th of November this year. Visit Cadbury Richoko Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Remember, T's and C's apply.
Mr. Chicky, boy, your boy, yay. Chicky, boy, your boy, yay. Mr. Chicky, boy, your boy, yay. Chicky, boy, your boy.
Citi Breakfast Show. Your messages are welcome on 0549 986 996. When we're doing the newspaper review, I read a story on citynewsroom.com that got both Godfred and Kokui and a lot of other people reacting to this. And it concerns the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We've been talking about food production and all of that, and availability of food and the cost and all. So the Ministry of Food and Agriculture says it will begin selling foodstuffs within its premises to serve people in Accra. Okay. Now the food will be straight from the farm gate to reduce the price build up on the items. Speaking at a meeting with farmers in Sefiri, also in the Western North region, Sector Minister Dr. Wuso Kotefri said, "Cause the ministry itself was going to take its own initiative, and that we are going to link up with the farm gate so that we make all the arrangements and ensure that we put up kiosks on our compound specifically for food from here." That's the issue also, and we are going to give it a lot of publicity, So that's the cause. But let's hear it from the minister first, in his own words, or as we say, from the horse's own mouth, and then we'll pick it up from there.
From this discussion, the ministry itself is also going to take our own initiative. We are going to link up with the farm gate so that you make all the arrangements to ensure that we put up kiosks on our compound at the ministry, specifically for food from here. And we're going to give it a lot of publicity. So that the region is providing food for the people in Accra.
So that was the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto.
Was he on official assignment?
Yes, he's on a tour of the place. He was in the Western North.
I thought he was maybe campaigning, like for presidency or something.
No. Sefiri also. That's where he is now.
So he's on official duty.
Day 3 of his tour.
Well, not really new what he said. I think in August, when we were having issues with the prices of foodstuffs, the president spoke about a plan like this in some form. If you go to, I think it was in August this year, yes, 15th August, the president said government is taking measures to help curb rising food prices in the country. Said government is working at providing market women with trucks to transport food items from the rural areas to the urban cities. This was part of efforts by the government to address the situation. I think he was speaking at the 22nd General Meeting of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. It was the Eastern region at the time. Quote, arrangements are being made with market women, market queens in popular parlance to provide trucks to evacuate foodstuffs from rural markets to urban centers to help reduce cost of food prices in the city. So not the same plan, but there was this notion of, okay, going out there, getting the food, bringing it in so that it doesn't become that expensive. It will be interesting to hear the Agric Minister expand on this and the feasibility of this. Quite a few questions to answer. Is he going to buy the food with his own money for Agric Ministry budget? How long will this go on for? The fuel, the transportation for the trucks that will go there and come, storage in Accra. Which of the ministries? Is it the Accra High Street one, the one where they saw the chickens, or he's talking about the ministry here? Ministry. What's the process?
Will it be a pop-up once a week type of thing?
If you listen on the face of it, it sounds like, okay, there's a problem. He's found a solution of sorts. But if you think it through, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it sounds more like a campaign promise. Sometimes I don't know what you think.
That's why I'm asking if it was
again. I think you preempted my question, and I don't know what that is meant to solve. Which problem that will be solving? You know, because if I understand him correctly, then he's talking about the ministry itself engaging in retailing and distribution. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I don't know whether the ministry, by its structure, has the competence to go into retailing and do a good job. And for that matter, every other ministry. Now, if they succeed, what they would end up doing is dislocating people's businesses. Because what you've basically done is to undo what the traders are doing and replace them with yourself. I'm not so sure a thoroughly thought through research would give us this outcome. You know, in the 60s, in the 70s, we had the Ghana Food Distribution Corporation. It's not defunct yet. It's still around. Ghana Food Distribution Corporation. And this Ghana Food Distribution Corporation, again, if my memory serves me correctly, was an amalgamation of the Food Marketing Corporation and the then Food Research. Okay.
Food Marketing Corporation and Food Research.
Yeah, not the CSR Food Research, but we had another Food Research. And their mandate was to buy from farm gates and sell to internal markets and external markets, basically. Okay. Now, this is all I remember about the Ghana Food Distribution Corporation. Those who were actually involved in the operations would have a better memory of it. But this sounds like replicating what Ghana Food Distribution Corporation was there to do.
Okay.
The other time when we mentioned it, somebody talked about buffer stock company. I'm not so sure whether buffer stock is meant to be selling directly to market. I'm not so sure. Why can't we institutionalize this kind of decision or strategy by strengthening such institutions as the Ghana Food Distribution Corporation? We have said, indeed, that one of the biggest problems in agriculture is transportation of produce from farm gates to consumers. So the ministry thinking through, say, okay, why don't we now do the transportation? Good thinking, but can you? Can you do it? If you can, at what cost? And you are a ministry is the most efficient institution to run transportation in this country. So it's like cutting corners, but the outcomes will still not look good. Short-termist, indeed, you know, this is it. This 1 month, 2 months, let's do it. Understandable. But what is the longer-term plan to resolve this issue? Because, you see, the problem that we are encountering is not a new problem. Where produce gets rotten or the cost of shipping produce from farm gates is so high and unbearable. So are they now saying that they will go and buy the produce and then come and sell, okay, cheaper? In the long term, are you going to make profit or are you going to lose? So what's the business model they are talking about? I mean, these are just random thoughts that we are expressing.
No, yeah, they are random, but they are the ones that come to mind when you listen to this. Which I asked, I did not think this was. I asked where he was. It's not that I am being sarcastic or anything, but you see, we need to get to the point where we situate some of these things carefully. Because I'll forgive him if he's on the campaign grounds. But like Samuel said, if you are discussing policy with people who are active participants in the sector that you are in, you need to present a properly thought through process to them. But you are in Seshiri also. They have issues with their goods. They are not moving. So your solution at that point is to tell them that, okay, we are going to buy the food from Seshiri also, send it to Accra. We'll send up stores for them. You will leave. Because we know that you have not thought this through. Everybody who hears this, the people will clap and they were applauding. Oh, Minister Abba, he has come to solve our problem for us. So say, concry, akofaka, abesisai nyamanaba. We know it won't happen. Okay? So it then sounds like you are campaigning more than you are actually delivering a proper long-term solution to people who actually do need a solution. They actually do need a solution. Okay? And then you see, and the way he sounded like, oh, and we will publicize it.
As in advertising?
No, I said they will
promote it.
He says we will publicize it. The act of
He says, and we are going to give it a lot of publicity. Those are his words.
So we come and buy.
Okay, so we buy the goods
Yes.
for Seshiri also.
No, from the ministry.
Yeah,
I mean that's what, so it's like you bring the food, they'll publicize it, then
What's
the budget for it?
If we are doing this as a stopgap measure, maybe a 3-month period to turn around, I can get that. But do you know that in so doing, you are displacing the unnamed woman at Kwasi Adwaso? The unknown young person who is a middle man has just lost their job. So I'm just saying that you need to measure it properly. That in the next 3 months, this is the intervention we are doing. Now, while you are doing it, know another thing, that the transporters, all these trotro people whose job it is to wake up in the middle of the night, go to the villages, transport, you have displaced them. So it's not as simple as he made it sound. I would rather he met all these people in the industry, those in the transportation industry who cut food from the farm gates. You know, what are your problems? How can we help? In addition to whatever short-term intervention. But this one, I dare say, is not sustainable. Mark it on the wall. It's not sustainable. What are you going to get? Who is going to pay for the fuel? Because you have started by promising that you sell it cheaper. Which business model assures you that if you sold them cheaper in the longer term, you still make enough profit? Just define your business. If you measure your business, you manage your business. What gets measured gets managed.
And is it on the feasibility of it? Let's be honest. It's a question I would ask you if I met him. Which budget? Because the finance ministry certainly isn't going to give you money to go and buy food from Seshiri also, to come and sell cheap here. Because they will ask you for a business plan. Like Samuel said, the finance ministry will ask you, where are your numbers? Show us your numbers. What have you thought? How well have you thought through this? And I dare say there's a reason why the promise that was made in August, when we had a similar situation at that time,
hasn't been implemented.
Because they would have thought through these things and realized, okay, and it was the same questions that we asked in August when this promise was made. The transportation, how is it going to be done? The fuel. The roads have not changed. The roads will not change for the cars that the government is sending there. For the areas that have bad roads, the roads still say bad. So whether you are transporting government or private, it's the same road that we all can't use anyway, which is keeping the food there. So the warehouses that you said you will build and all those things, why not make use of those ones if indeed they had been built in some of these areas? So yes, it sounds okay because we are in the throes of a crisis, and so to say something like this gives some immediate relief to those you are telling it to. But once you think it through,
you start to
you ask, yeah, because you know that implementation will be significantly difficult. Again, let's ask him, where will the transportation come from? Who's bearing the cost of the fuel? Is it the ministry? Is it the Ministry of Energy? Is it the Ministry of Finance? the farmers you are buying from, what prices are you agreeing with them at the farm gate? What is going to be an agreed form of sales here that is considered cheap? Who is, like Simon said, which department of the agri ministry is going to run the retail side? Or you will come and then you might collaborate with maybe the market queens and say, okay, market queens, we've brought this thing good, come cheap, come and sell it for us here, and we'll take a commission, or we'll do this. It's pretty complicated. And also, you talk about the extent of it. How much food can you bring to come and sell at the ministry to deal with the kind of problem we are having? That will be significant enough to offset the price hikes that we have.
Even at the ministry itself, would they even have enough space to even store
I'm saying
the food there? Yeah,
it means you might have to operate a 24-hour transport system.
The competencies that are required to penetrate the retail space, I do not think that the ministry is set up to do that. Facilitate business, agribusiness properly. Let's facilitate. Let's meet the people. Let's see their problems. Because, you see, they may have problems that tell on agriculture, but the elements of the problems may not be under your control as an agri minister or agri ministry for that matter. So if you talk to them and there's something that, say, roads minister should come in, this is where we come to you, roads minister. If what's the other one? Transport minister should come in. This is you understand? But if you tell us that you are going to take charge and then go and take the food yourself, not just take on behalf of the retailers, so take and then come and sell yourself. Who made you a market woman? Don't you know that by so doing you are displacing them?
You are disrupting the chain.
You are disrupting the chain in a way that is not sustainable. I don't know how many times we'll say this. And he's a PhD holder in agribusiness or agronomy, or I don't know which one. But what I'm saying is that, not to take anything away from him, what we are seeing is a complex feature in our agribusiness chain. Some of the elements of the problem are not caused by agri necessarily, external factors. So we can't take it for granted. And we are saying that we either institutionalize the decision and the proposal by having something like the Food Distribution Corporation as it was, so that it will be given an exhaustive mandate to now get into a nationwide distribution network, and then also built into the supply chain, not to compete with the existing chain. This is the problem.
So we already have things that work. All we need to do is plug
things are working in not so efficient manner.
But there's a bit of a system.
To run a parallel, you have no assurances that you'll be more efficient, because as a public service organization, you have no record of being efficient in managing retail business.
It's not your man. You don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. So running parallel, disrupting it, and then keeping people out of their retail jobs in the market is a no-no. If we want to do it, let's go back to the model of food distribution and build it well with the lessons of past failures, so that we will solve today's problems. I mean, look, people, did you see Senor Hosi's letter?
Yes, and I'm just...
You know, people who are practitioners are complaining. In fact, Senor Hosi has gone ahead to boldly
he says the
demand that the minister should resign.
Oh, they've added him to the list?
No, he said resign. Resign. But I have said that the president should take him away. Parliament says that Ken Ofori-Atta should go. I'm saying that they should add the agri minister to it, and possibly add the trade minister to it, so that we will know that we are starting from zero. Because if you take away the finance minister and you are still not producing enough, nothing will go into the kitty. If you take away the finance minister and you have not triggered trading activities to optimize your gains, nothing will change in the kitty. So yes, good call. Finance Minister, go. We are saying that let's add the Trade Minister, let's add the Agric Minister, because they are equally non-performing.
So listening to the Citi Breakfast Show, let's do your money. Your money is brought to you by CBG. CBG is saying we stand with you. And the segment is brought to us by Kokui, the birthday lady.
See you.
So what's the tip for your birthday? Blow cash on your birthday.
Let the cash flow. Well, today's Friday, so we're doing a recap, right? And it's been a tough week for the Your Money segment because this week has seen significant increase in fuel prices, which affects everything. Transport fares, people are really going through it. People who had investments are now finding out that potentially they might not get the full amount that they invested. You know, it's been one of those weeks, you know. So we've just tried to encourage people, to give people hope that hopefully somewhere down the line something good will come. And really there isn't much more we can say except be prudent. Don't rush to take out your money. If you've got it locked in some kind of investment, just take a bit of time. Let the dust settle. Talk to your financial advisors. Talk to your financial institution. Get all the information you need before you rush. There's no need to panic, withdraw anything. You know, let's understand what exactly SEC is now saying about your investment funds. You know, it's a tricky situation, but it's something that you need information on before you make a decision. Okay, so get all the information that you need. Aside that, Charlie, keep hope alive. You know, keep hope alive. It will get better. I that's my birthday message for now. Just keep hope alive. And yeah, we accept Momo too. Yeah. Yeah, birthday Momo.
Birthday Momo. That was Your Money brought to you by CBG. CBG, we stand with you.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go.
So sometimes you're not the only person who wants their great minister to go. Senor Hosi wants the man to resign. Okay, so yesterday he wrote a very strongly worded letter. Okay, and now he says he said the ministry was being run in an inept manner. Okay, and he said, quote, now Mr. Hosi accused the ministry of ignoring several correspondences following a proposal by the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Sagre Bambangi, for a collaboration to help achieve a constructive example of investment success in rice production. Now, as the Senor Hosi wrote, quote, if you were really concerned about the commercial and social viability of investments in the sector as you seem to express, you would have been more responsible than ignore communication from one of the biggest rice investors in that district, region, and country. And he continues by saying, quote, I therefore do not find your ministry under the current leadership an honest policy partner in the development of my business. Now, this is referencing Senior Hosi's investments in the rice sector. To warrant any submission of my investment details for your consideration. Now, he encouraged the minister to audit the production yield, investment, and subsidy deployment information which his outfit publishes. So, his letter was in response to a press release that the ministry issued on October 30 in response to earlier arguments he had made at a recently held agribusiness dialogue. So, people not happy with the output of the agricultural minister, and people like Senior Hosi, who are very active in that space, say they want him to leave. They want him to resign. Sometimes you say you want the president to kick him out.
Well, in the face of the challenges we are going through, my position is not so subjective, but all I'm saying is that if we think that removing a finance minister will solve our problem, then we are deceiving ourselves.
Okay.
So the point I'm trying to make is that it goes beyond the function of the finance minister. In that space, very key to resolving our issues is agriculture and trade. Forget about the human beings involved.
But the role and function
of these two ministries, very critical. That you can do whatever you do with finance ministry. If you don't touch these two ministries, we are assured of repeated cycles of failure and embarrassment.
So finance, agric especially, and trade. Agric especially and trade. If we are not eating what we produce, problem. If we are not trading well, if you are not sending out things and bringing in things, you are going to struggle. Let's go through some of our messages that have come in on 0549-986-996.
And you see, the other thing is, look, if you have somebody like Senior Hosi boldly come out, put out his thoughts, just know one thing. There are not many of his likes in our system. The Ghanaian typically will shy away from publicly making such claims. But trust me, his view represents thousands of people who are practicing this agric thing.
On a very large scale.
On a very large scale. Not every one of them has the platform to talk. So we cannot we can't just sweep it under the carpet. And then quickly some random people will go and will brand him as opposition. But if you are doing something wrong, why shouldn't he oppose you? Or opposition is somebody's name. Of all the names that the East Africans have been naming themselves, have you heard anybody call opposition Mensa before?
Coming soon.
They could eventually get there.
Coming soon.
They could eventually get.
So we can't take it for granted.
We can't take his comments lightly.
Because look at people, the fisher folk are complaining.
Oh, they have. We've interviewed them. These days we don't even see them here, but they talk a lot.
Farmers across, they are complaining. Okay, and if you have a tenure as a minister of agric, and at the end of your tenure, you can't showcase champions and poster boys and girls that tell your story, then it's a big problem. You need to showcase that in my term, ABC, these are the people who represent the vision that I expressed. More often than not, and not to a free Akoto alone, more often than not, we create the policies and then foreigners come and take advantage. A lot of the businesses, they will do then they'll end up in free zones, something, then we'll give them tax
holidays, tax break.
And then in the same space where our locals are also competing, the foreigners come with big money, sources of money we do not know. They are giving blank checks. They come and compete with our people. they practice the same agriculture. When they sell, they take the money away and put pressure on our dollar. And we wonder why the dollar is misbehaving.
That was a sigh.
Let's go to some of the messages.
Okay. Adelaide from Kuntunse says, for those of us who can't go all the way to the ministry to buy the foodstuffs, they could look at either launching an ordering app like Bolt Food and Glovo and partnering with Ghana Post for doorstep deliveries.
Godfred YA.
Okay. Nathan, so is it until recently that the ministry realized that the Western region could feed a country? What of Bono region? Continuous promotion of local rice. Christmas is coming again. Take your cameras and go around MDAs and MMDCs and see the amount of foreign rice and oil that will be distributed again. This is Divine in La. Good morning, Team CBS. I chanced on the Auditor General's report on the construction of 30 1,000 metric ton warehouses all over the country. Okay. I realized that warehouses, building a warehouse is a 6-month project. It started in 2017, and as of 2021, 5 warehouses have been completed and the items abandoned. This ministry has wasted a lot of money through the PFJ initiative. Look it up from the report. A lot of wasteful decisions and excuses by that ministry. I'm Nee from Dom. I hope he asked the Agric Minister if pork and salmon are part of the products they'll be selling at the ministry. I think he means mackerel, right, when he says salmon. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. If the answer is yes, I'll fully support him on that because I'll get them at cheaper prices like how he's saying. This Kwesi in Tema. Okay, Kwesi wants his protein for Christmas.
Sugar-coated sarcasm.
Kofi and Sakumono says, Samen Zay, don't waste your time on this Minister of Agric proposal. They can't even compete with the market women. Another empty promise. Okay. Simon and Ashaiman says, I never see the Agric Minister as serious as he should be as a minister. He's always building castles in the air. Kojo Dignity from Dansuman says, Nathan, please, Agric Minister, Trade Minister, Shika Minister, and in addition to Sika Mpedede must go. In fact, these 4 people are the problem Ghana is facing. Okay, Yesuvi says, maybe the Agric Minister is talking of what they normally do during Christmas. Apart from this, the new idea will not work. But, anyway, okay. Citi FM, the Minister and his Ministry of Works and Housing must go. They're hiding in plain sight, doing nothing. The minister should be on the table to be axed. Okay, that's Mohammed. I 100% agree with Uncle Samens. The Agric Minister must take the lead. Feed that sells at 145 Ghana cedis or sold at 145 Ghana cedis in March 2022 is now going for 268 Ghana cedis as of today. You can't even get any. It's not available, meaning there's a possible increment coming. My remaining 1,000 birds are going this December.
Wow. Look, the poultry farm thing. Yesterday I was talking to one of my pastors, and he's a poultry farmer as well. Look, this is one of the most level-headed people I know. He was absolutely livid. Basically, a lot of them are having to just give away the birds. Because he says if he doesn't sell the birds, he can't even make money to buy feed. Now, the feed is the problem. It's gone way up. If you go and check the price of Sankofa and the rest, something will happen to you. The day-old chicks prices up. They used to buy it at 8 cedis per bed. You go and look at the price now. So basically, they are just giving it away. They're just giving it away. And he was like, what is that? I put him on radio right now. The things has been charitable. The things he will say this morning. Yesterday he was, and I could get him because this is somebody
you've never
he's
seen
a Presbyterian. He's a full ordained minister of the Presbyterian Church.
You haven't seen him like that before.
And you could see that if you give him the chance,
he might say
things. So I didn't push him.
All right. Delali in Hohoi says, good morning. This Agric Minister's idea is a no-no. I always wonder how he got himself into the economic management team. Okay. Our political leaders don't think through policy that is aimed at solving problems, so the policy becomes unsustainable and just a slogan like NABCO or one student, one laptop, one village, one dam, one constituency, $1 million, etc. A well-planned railway system can solve a large portion of our agricultural, trade, transportation, employment issues. I've given up on this country. That's George in Airport City.
Talking about rail, I think there was a story I read early in the morning that more people were now hopping onto the trains because of the increase in fuel prices. So they were ditching the Trotskys and boarding the trains. So maybe that's something we need to think about a lot more, how to enhance that. Because it can get a lot more people moving across wider distances. But Charlie, somewhere.
What do you mean?
Train.
No, but the thing is, if in the 70s, when we were in primary school, okay, I mean, we used to take train from Accra to Kumasi, constant. Okay, now fast forward 40-something years down the line, we don't have a workable, reliable rail transport industry in Ghana. Have we made progress?
Not at all.
And I have said this thing 1,001 times, that no government can solve our transportation problem by depending on road transport alone. Unless the government can prove that there's a model somewhere in another country that has succeeded with only road transport. Road transport alone to solve your transportation problem. Are you Professor Diago? You're a magician too?
Who's Professor Diago?
Oh, you are a child, so you don't know Professor Diago.
Professor Diago.
So you see, we look at the beach stretch from Aflao to Axim.
Very good.
We still have not figured out water transport. We still have not figured out. And I am sure if you go even to the transport ministry, there will be plans sitting on the shelves. Plans how to do short distance water transport. Can you imagine if we had water transport from Accra to Tema, or from Tema to Accra? Guess what? The kind of pressure that would be taken away from the motorway and the beach road. So that in the long term, you are reducing the cost of maintaining the road. If you had rail line that took you straight from Tema Harbour to a type of Buankra somewhere, which would mean that all this load and pressure we put on the motorway by these huge trucks, we will have a way of managing them. You can imagine. You see, what I'm saying is that everybody comes, oh, we have done more roads than you. We have done more roads than you. True. Every government comes, they do more roads. But if we do the measure, have the more roads solved our transportation problem? And we all know the answer. There's effort at putting the railway thing together. I think the Tema to Akadan we keep hearing. You know, whether that's enough, clearly it's not enough. It's not enough. But who is going to hold the bull by the horn and say, look, whatever happens, we should restore our railway network as an alternative transportation offering for the public? If you do that, the ripple effect that is going to have, Jesus Christ, even on the dollar, I'm telling you, because people are feeding from Abosio Kai and Swami magazine, because everybody has a car that is worn out.
We buy more second-hand cars.
We buy more second-hand cars. We buy more second-hand spare parts, you know, and it's the same dollar we use to go and bring the spare parts, the same dollar we are using to bring the cars. Whereas if we had an alternative transportation channel that can absorb the pressure from the roads, it would have reduced the consumption on our dollar. And I'm sure we may sound like we are oversimplifying the solutions. Take it that we are oversimplifying the solutions, but at least it's a way to start. It's a way to start.
So listen to the Citi Breakfast Show. You can send your messages on 0549 986. Let's get to the line. Let's speak to Senor Hosi. Senor Hosi is a farmer, basically. He's into rice farming. He was. I mean, he's a huge rice farmer. A rice farmer dealing in rice at in terms of heavy numbers. And he says the agri minister should resign. So let's find out what his major reasons are. Mr. Hosi, good morning. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Nathan, and good morning to your listeners.
You've put out a letter essentially calling for the agri minister to resign. You've highlighted a number of things. For those who do not know or haven't seen this letter, what are your reasons for the resignation, or what are the reasons behind your call for the resignation of the agri minister?
Well, Nathan, agri food is a matter of life and death and the sustainability of any society. Anyone in the help of that affairs must really be very focused and spending so much money in the sector should actually yield a sustainable impact. That has failed. We had a dialogue and a conversation on the Tree Business, one of your colleagues, media houses, TV2 in particular. We're discussing the issues of agriculture and agribusiness. My brother, it's been 6 years of throwing a lot of money under this planting for food and jobs. I can't find one single industry that has been well structured sustainably that positions Ghana for proper leadership. Not one. That is a key failure. And anytime we discuss numbers relative to the success of that kind of policy, all kinds of wild numbers are thrown around. And those of us in the industry even question the accuracy of this data. And then I start. So I actually raised the issue that there's a need for us to structure that industry. You take rice, it's a major staple. It's Ghana's second staple after maize. You still don't have a structured industry where you're actually defining clearly from demand to what kind of inputs and getting all the key players together, like you find in very serious economies and organized agri sectors across the world. And I cited examples, the need for us to do it. The next thing, after I've actually told you as an investor that I've lost money, instead of you showing empathy and encouraging investors properly, the next thing too is you don't want to call somebody out. Clearly, you lack the leadership on this sector. Agri suffers from a major lack of adequate investment. Our government don't have full capacity because they actually focus and see agri more as a social intervention other than a commercial and sustainable business that has social impact. So the objectives and the focus are totally disconnected. So we never find sustainable policies. So what exactly has this agri minister achieved in all these years, apart from throw money at things? I can't find it. Data is one of the basic things that you need. You take our production data in this sector. When you vet the data, it is questionable. I've been running a mill. I've made investment in one of the largest silos for rice in this country. All right? I've been operational. I've had the president visit my farm, and he was there. Of course, nothing. I've benefited nothing from that visit in any form as far as the advancement of my factory and then the farm is concerned, despite the promises that were made. But that's okay. But it shows that there was visibility on this project. Nobody has asked me for the production data out of my office. You have major mills like Avnash, which have a 180,000 metric ton capacity in the north, the largest mill in the country. They can't show you any evidence of the ministry taking their productive capacity, productive data. So where does the ministry get information to really say that we have 43% of our rice produced locally? Where? We are the ones producing the thing. You are not even talking to us. Or, for the most part, you're not talking to most of us. So where exactly are you getting your data? But you come on air, you go to parliament, the finance minister follows suit, and we all start seeing all kinds of things that don't exist. How do you build a sustainable industry without accurate data? And you just back it up with sloganeering and propaganda. And those on the ground, you don't go on the ground to encourage investors properly. Who is going to continue investing in this sector? The minister's recklessness is now, I think, it's overboard. And it's now for everyone to see. The inflation you see, that's not much the claims of so much food. When there were milk shortages, this man said there's no shortage. He doesn't even know the price of the market. Talking about his wife. It is wrong. This man lacks the capacity to lead this sector. Agriculture is the single most important industry we have in this country. And if you just not realize, it is one of the few sectors you can transform in a single election cycle. One of the few. But what have we achieved right now? Spent money with little to show for it. Show me which industry is structured. Is it poultry? Let me turn around. Is it cocoa? Which one? Please. I think that Ghanaians at some point, we all have, we only take so much. So now enough is enough. The politicians and the sloganeering and the grammar and their arrogance and I know it all falter. We are tired. We pay you. We are investors. We put real money on the ground. When we lose it in our pockets. And if you can't respect investors, you can't support investors, and you respect them. And you're doing none. What's your use? You fast one thing. And you want to be president. Joke.
Mr. Wasi, I think your position is very clear. I just want to ask you, how many other people in your space share the same position that you hold? Because at least you've come out, you've stated clearly, but how many others have the same position that you hold, that the agric minister is just not fit for purpose?
I don't think I'm alone, but that's for you to really figure out as journalists. You can call in on the major agric heads. All the major agric bodies. You have GAWU, you have the rice millers, you have the peasant farmers. Ask them if they actually really identify with the sustainability or the viability or the impact of this minister's leadership of the sector. I'm sure if you talk in his own ministry, apart from those who just hear him, you will hear properly. Where is the support? Where is the extension? Nothing. I'm telling you, I invested in 350 acres of rice this season. I've gotten support from banks. I've not even got a minister or what his unit. That's so
nobody from the ministry has even reached out to find out what the status is of your investment.
Nobody when I have told you that I have lost money, the first thing as a responsible leader you should do, if you want to encourage investors in it, is for you to invite the people. How did this happen? Let's see how we can help turn things around. Where did we go wrong? Or maybe you may have also made some mistakes somewhere. Let's engage. What did they do? Call me out in the media. Is this guy serious? Is this the kind of leadership that we expect to transform our economy? You know, this arrogance, I don't have tolerance for it anymore. I don't want to suffer respectful fools anymore. I can't. Because I pay my taxes. I have challenges doing it. I make investments. I have employees. I have thousands of people whose livelihood depend on my success. And I don't take that lightly. I see it as a calling. It's a responsibility. Somebody had me on his payroll, and through that, I've been able to survive and thrive in life. And if people also depend on my success, I must make sure I thrive and sustain them and give them an opportunity to impact their space and time. What is this man doing? Show me one industry that has been transformed. That's all I'm asking for. You can't find that in poultry. You can't find that in rice. You can't find it in maize. Show me one. You take all the national best farmers. I've been talking to a few of the national best farmers in recent times.
And what have they been saying?
Look, the minister is not even interested in reaching out to them for advice. To even get input from them and even understand what's been your winning formula. A serious economy, you look for the winners. You document their success. You monitor their success. Then you actually use it as a playbook for other investors to use to win. At my farm, my mistakes, anybody who comes to me, I'll tell you. Because I don't want you to make the mistakes I made. When Agric wins, Ghana wins. I'm not in competition with anybody. You are a minister. The winners in the area, those who you are not engaging. You are not even engaging properly so that you actually understand how they win. How they win. Mr. James Barton has done a great job with mangoes. When's the last time they called him? I think it was 2018, 2019. This Ogun guy. Look, when you look for winners, you want to work with them to replicate their success. So that this country can thrive. There is no formula, my brother. If there's a formula, there's academic written formula, which is never practiced. And one thing politicians forget, or policymakers forget, policy is not what you write. Policy is what governments do or not do. Professor Thomas died. They should go back to school and learn. I don't understand. Yeah. You look, and you see, Nathan, you see, a Greek has a very big impact on our society. The lives that depend on it, the security of the country, it is not a joke. So it must be treated with the utmost passion, seriousness, structure, and planning. The policy, the thoroughness of our policy, planning and execution are great. Please much to be desired. Show me one industry, even cocoa, we have not been able to establish our place right. What is this? Where are children going? Where are children going? Right. What Ghana are we leaving for them?
Senor, thank you. Thank you so much. I think you've articulated your points very well. And we appreciate your time, Senor Hosi. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So that was Senor Hosi. He calls himself a citizen and an investor. But essentially, he's a player in the rice space. And I think he's put together his thoughts in a statement. But you could tell just from the tone of his voice that he's very upset. And the fact that the sector is just not being handled well enough to ensure our growth. Like he said, agriculture is everything. It's a matter of life and death. It produces the food, the drugs, the clothes, and everything.
What haven't we said about agriculture here? So those of you who think that by just sacking finance minister alone, your problems are solved, there you have it. There you have it. And this is a practitioner. And I'm saying that, look, he is speaking for thousands of farmers and people in agribusiness. Okay? He mentioned James Boateng. We all know James Boateng.
Best national farmer.
He was my boss. He was my boss in Coca-Cola.
Oh, wow.
He was my boss in Coca-Cola. He became the country manager for Cadbury for years. So he's not a novice. You understand? But he's also not as vocal as you would have the likes of Senor. So I'm just saying that this man is speaking for a good number of people. Let's listen to him. And this whole thing of, oh, hey, he's an opposition. You see, that thing is so nauseating. That anybody that disagrees with you or anybody that complains is branded opposition. As if opposition is some sickness. That if you brand me, then I'll die. No, let's get serious. If we don't deal with this look, I think that going forward, the agric function should be treated like the way we treat the Ministry of Defense.
That's a very serious thing.
Very, very serious thing. Because it's so sensitive and crucial to our very existence. And every cycle of managing the agric function should seek to improve and make visible value addition in terms of quality and in terms of quantity. If we don't have the measure to tell us how far we are going, then it's a bigger problem. Now, the practitioner is telling us, nobody picks data from me. So where are they getting their data from? Maybe they use other models to extract data. But in his first letter, he actually said that based on the data that he got from that Greek ministry, he also made his investment and everything went down the drain.
He lost money.
You see, so if we really, really want to keep this agric machinery being oiled, then we need to change the way we have done things. As for the slogans, by now we should know that they don't work. Slogans don't necessarily do anything for us. If you are a politician in 2022 and you believe that slogans will do something for you. In the days of new media, you have been deceived. God, in the champion time when we used to do slogans and even up to the early 90s slogans, new media, even before you speak, somebody knows the truth. Because of social media, the outlets for truth dissemination, they are just plenty. So the people, you say the slogan, is so transparent. People look through the slogan, and at the end of the day, they just mimic the thing and laugh. So let's get to work. Let's get to work. And this is what Senor Jose is saying. We back the removal of the agric minister. We back the removal of the trade minister. And all ministries that are just skirting around the problem and giving photo opportunities, they are smiling and taking pictures and putting in front of daily graphic, and the work is not done. The outcomes are there for all of us to see. Very soon, we'll be going to the transport minister as well, because it's a transportation leg to this whole chain. It's because, see, if the transportation were up and doing, would the agric minister try to go and do his own transportation?
No, clearly not.
We'll get to the transport minister as well.
Let's go to a few of the messages that have come on the number, the WhatsApp number, 0549-986-996.
Okay, so Adam says, Citi, can you push your campaign on local rice again? Because the foreign rice, dear, we can't spend on it this Christmas.
That's if you even have some.
But
look, I dare say that if by Christmas we still have even local rice in the market, then we are in luck. I mean, they do the next harvest, which should be happening ending of this month. But in the second week to ending of this month, we should be having the next rice harvest. If they will have enough, most of the rice companies that we have spoken to in the last 3 weeks since we started putting our stuff together, they are saying that they have so much orders for Christmas, they are afraid whether they can meet the demand. You understand? So it's a catch-22 situation, but let's see how it goes.
Gilbert says, I set up a 10,000 battery cage poultry farm with $100,000 in March. And he says, wrong timing. Feed cost me 60% of my sales. The other half is struggling between paying salaries and return on investment against the USD. I wish I had just bought dollars and kept it. I buy feed from Kujis at free zones, which means 70% of the maize they buy on our local market is being exported. If you don't buy from them, the maize is crazy. Every week, feed is being increased. I wish I can just torch the birds and just go and sit at home.
Wow. Say this, the feed matter. I think there's what the I think it's now going for like 480 Ghana cedis also.
What this government should know that autopilot decisions are over. At this time, bad decisions will not fly. Okay, Razak in Ahamanso says, let the state intervene directly in the economic activities of the state. The state must set up state farms. Asafwacha Abolo in Pone says, if you, the educated ones, are talking like this, imagine we, the uneducated. A whole agric minister with such solution for the hike in food prices, we forsell the country and share the money. Oh, Charlie. This agric minister, is he serious at all? Let's brace ourselves because he could soon announce cooking and selling the food. Good morning, Team Citi, and a flamboyant happy birthday to Kokui. Thank you. Team Citi, for agric, we need to change our own structure by creating something I call farm villages. For business, we need to start helping our own by organizing business seminars and offering targeted tax holidays. For transport, we need rail transport badly. This is from Emmanuel in Tesano. Please, our problem is roads. If our roads can be tarred perfectly from north to south, east to west, transportation will become cheaper and cost of living will be reduced. This is Kenneth at Amraya. Sometimes tell your team that it's not Prof. Diego alone, but Prof. Hindu. E2 day inside. This is Eugene.
Who's Prof. Hindu?
Wait, first of all, who's Prof. Diego, the magician?
Because Diego and Prof. Hindu, they were magicians in Ghana. And they were like competitors. They were like Hassan Kotoko.
They were rivals.
Yes.
Rival magicians.
No, brutal magicians.
Were they doing the tricks properly?
No, proper. Papa, of course, we're children, so we saw everything real. And if you go to school and you don't have a story to tell about Professor Diego or Professor Hindu, and there was some Professor Isabi in the corner there.
They are profs.
Exactly.
That's how we used to call magicians.
Our professor.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Oh.
It was later when I grew up that I knew that professor is somebody who teaches in the university.
I said that you're a magician.
I thought that every professor was a magician.
Well, they are magicians. They are magicians. The ones we have here, magicians.
Oh, wow. Prof. Diego and Prof. Hindu. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Why should government work on the railway system when ministers are interested in establishing fuel stations? This came from King. Okay.
Shots.
That's fine.
The project has to be thought through or it will fail, as other initiatives have suffered. The Kufuor administration started a similar project of buying from the farm gate. It failed because the farmers sell to customers who pre-finance production. These market queens provide loans and inputs during the farming seasons. There's therefore a business bond between the rural farmers and their farm gate customers. If the government just wants to go there with trucks, the project will fail, just like other attempts.
There's nuance to it.
Reggie Tago in Northampton, UK says, on the agri topic you're discussing, Samens is absolutely right on everything he said. The ministry's new approach is not sustainable. Look, for the interim, they should use bulldozers to cut all the roads to the farms and make them motorable if they can't asphalt them now. Then get the Abobia operators to bring the foodstuffs from the farms to the district centers where it can be carted to bigger cities. The time has come for us to be more domestic than relying on importation. Our leaders must start thinking deep. Okay. The current government is just reckless on all levels. It's an open secret that the buffer stock company is supposed to be managing strategic food reserve for all of us, but it's rather dissipating financial resources, purchasing from their own organized cartel of suppliers at 3 times the market price, even for school feeding. We're resurfacing 4-kilometer roads in Accra metropolis at a price of circa 15 million Ghana cedis. This is proper create, loot, and share.
Well, this buffer stock accusation, I'm not so sure. That I'm not so sure because I've had some experiences with them, and Charlie, at times, even the price they offer is not attractive. You run away.
Wow.
But I mean, talking about food, let me tell you about water. And we could be in a we are in a very dangerous place. I would say we are in a very dangerous place, and things can get worse. Look, yesterday we had City TV's Galamsey dialogue. Galamsey, a threat to water security. Okay, and the Water Resources Commission has warned that the country will be forced to import huge quantities of water if illegal mining activities are not tackled. To Dr. Bob Alpha, he was also speaking at the dialogue, and he said the lack of investment in water production was now threatening the survival of people in Ghana.
We have per capita for everybody in this country is 1,700. What it means is that Ghana is a vulnerable state when it comes to water resources.
Okay.
We are not water-stressed country, but we are vulnerable because of the issues of...
We've always been vulnerable. The climate change and the illegal mining has made us vulnerable.
Yes, we have not even come to the quality.
Okay.
This is just what is available in terms of the volumes.
Okay.
So if we come to the quality, then we become a water-stressed country.
Okay.
So I'm building a point from the fact that what nature has given us, we are already vulnerable.
Okay.
Because the per capita is 1,700 per person per year.
Okay.
Then we move further to even how we develop our water resources. To be able to develop as a country, water is the source of every developmental agenda.
Yeah.
Economic growth, they say, is a testy business. You have to use water to be able to grow. Ghana, unfortunately, we have not developed our water resources. Even compared to sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana has developed only 100 cubic meter per person. What it means is that Ghana is already importing a lot of water resources. I hear all the time that if we don't take time,
we will be importing water resources. So we're already doing that.
We are already importing water
and
resources.
And how long have we been importing water?
We have been importing water resources for so long, and now I'll explain why. The sub-Saharan average is 175. Whatever we consume is produced by water. Okay? And if you don't develop your water resources in your country, and then you import some countries' products, what you are importing is what they have developed as far as their water resources is concerned. especially for food products. We import rice, we import drinks.
Oil, almost everything.
Almost everything. And this investment has been done by other countries. Water is central to the production of those commodities. So once we import that, we are already importing water, virtually. I believe normally when people say we'll be importing water, they are looking at the physical importation of water. But Ghana has been importing water for so long, and we have the resource available in our country, and we have not developed it.
What is the challenge in developing the resource?
It's investment. First of all, we do not even invest much in protecting our water resources. And we will come to the Galamsey is one example of that. We do not manage our water resources. Apart from the investment for hydropower, if you look at irrigation, the level of investment for water resources is very low. Okay. Drinking water, of course, we still do not have 100% coverage. But drinking water is one of the lowest points because how much water do we drink? The biggest demand for water is agriculture, it's industry. And that is what we have failed to do over the years. And every single item that we import to this country, we are importing water, we are importing labor. So we are actually employing people outside this country. And then we have people in this country who are not working. And the fundamental is developing your water resources. Because that is the only way you can project issues of industry, agriculture, and all the other forms of water uses.
That's right.
So just to put that in terms of the availability, and then we can zero into the issue of Galamsey. I mean, you've already played quite a lot of videos. The picture is very clear, but just to add that what we see is just the physical state. We haven't looked at the chemical pollution yet, the health implications.
So that was Dr. Bob Alpha. He's with the Water Resources Commission. Let's hear from Professor Chris Gordon. Okay, Professor Chris Gordon. He's an environmental toxicologist. Toxicologist.
This Galamsey is a mental problem.
Galamsey is a mental problem, right? And he spoke on the need for in-depth research to help deal with the Galamsey menace.
Sterility in men and birth defects. This is something that was highlighted recently by some people who have seen things in the money areas. So the question that I was asked, what is the effect of water pollution on our survival? And I'm saying that water pollution impacts every aspect. So water security, that is the access, the availability and affordability. It impacts environmental health and biodiversity. It has impact on our agriculture, therefore on our nutrition and our food security. And of course, if you don't eat well, your health is at risk. Then you have impact on poverty, livelihoods, and jobs. When the land is destroyed, there's nothing you can do on it. And the final thing is that because they're clearing the forest, it has impact on climate change, adaptation, and mitigation. So my takeaway point, I think Galamsey is a mental problem. It's a mental problem. It's a mindset problem that you think you can steal today and still eat your cake tomorrow. I think that, if you could go to the next slide, that we have to appreciate to fix and restore is always more expensive than to spoil. Spoiling takes an instant. Those of you who are in married or relationships, you slap your spouse. I'm not recommending this. It takes a second to do that action, but I'm telling you, pay for it for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So it is better not to spoil it in the first place. My third point is that a full-time problem like Galamsey cannot be solved by part-time responses. My apologies to an artist who had full-time Christian, part-time devil, I've forgotten, but my apologies to the gentleman. But full-time, we cannot do this stop and go. It has to be concerted. And the last point is very important. There's no substitute for data. If we do want to have a lasting solution, we need to have solid evidence-based policies. So in the lab that was shown in the Ghana Water Company video, what they do is every day they have to do an assessment of sediment load, because that is what will determine how much chemical they need to add. But if it wasn't the case, they could average over that, oh, we know that we can add this amount. That's another additional cost. But to know the amount, you have to carry out the research. And we're not carrying out research because our research departments, our academia are underfunded. We haven't even gone to the issue of what they call novel entities. These are new products as a result of a cocktail of chemicals from galamsey, different soil types, and so forth, which we cannot go to Brazil or UK to find the answer. We have to discover it here. So to let you down lightly, if Citi FM or Citi TV has some fund for funeral expenses, start contributing.
Wow. The death is on its way.
Oh, I'm telling you.
So that was Professor Chris Gordon. He's an environmental toxicologist, and he was part of the panel at Citi FM and Citi TV's Galamsey dialogue on the theme Galamsey, a threat to water security. And he sounded a very, very, very strong warning. He says if we have money in a funeral fund somewhere, but bottom line, he says we are in very dangerous times. And some of the images shared, and I'm sure for those who watched it, some of the images, if you thought all of this was a joke or you didn't understand how serious it is, I'm sure you saw some of the pictures. Some of the pictures are absolutely staggering. And the bit that that picture didn't show up, but I saw it earlier, a day or two earlier, where in a certain part of the country, somebody had written, I was born to be a galamsey.
That's the Osino area.
That's the Osino area.
Yes, by the roadside.
By the road, by the road.
Well, I mean, because people get away with it, so we can now trivialize it and also make jokes out of it. I mean, have you heard anybody write something that I'm born to be an armed robber?
No way.
But they know what that means. You know. But I think for us, the call is that they should ban galamsey and reset the button and do something about it before they can restore it if they have to in whichever new structure that they are coming up. But the call is that we should ban it. We should ban it. Now, yesterday's roundtable was such an eye-opener. You know, the toxic effects of this galamsey is something that's become overbearing. We just can't handle it if things are left the way they are. And we can't shout it louder. We can't shout it louder. The experts spoke yesterday. And for what I know, the experts know better than the politicians in terms of the chemistry of what is going on. And so if I mean, that was just a 2-hour program, but I'm sure that they'll still have a lot more. If you went to Professor Gordon is with University of Ghana, if you went to UDS, you went to University of Cape Coast, you went to KNUST, there are experts there, water engineering, expert hydro, all these people are there. They all have positions on this. And from what we are made to understand, there is no outlook that looks positive with what is going on. It means that the intervention must be brutal and ruthless, straight to the point. This trying to advise people thing, we've gone past that. And we are saying that they should ban it and then get into engaging the communities. And look, it's a serious job. And all the sectors involved must be called to action. It's not just Lance. He said we reduce it to Lance Minister, and Jinapua is all over the place, jumping here, doing things. He's been doing this thing for the last God knows how many years. But the point we are making, it goes beyond the Lance Ministry. And we expect even the Interior Ministry.
Because the security
National Security Ministry. You know, for all of them to keep pushing till we find, because if we didn't know what to do, like we were saying, was it yesterday? If we didn't know what to do, at least we have seen what the
paramount chief of
Sefi also chief has done. The other one, there's another chief who also did.
Yeah, the Queen Mother of Tepa also did the same thing.
And it's working.
Yes, working.
So the president, when the president met the chiefs, I remember when the president met them, oh, what can the chiefs do? The other people do. And I said, no. They are traditional authorities. There's a role they can play. Now we see. So if you're a chief, you are hearing us. If you didn't know that it's possible, now you know. And yesterday we picked something from there. Was it the water resources or the Ghana water guy? He said that your slogan should be not in my backyard. If they are going to do Galamsey, never in my backyard. And we finished yesterday. We are continuing today. We are into the Galamsey areas today. The whole day we are there in the villages. And Monday going, you will see the pictures.
For those who still don't believe or think that this is some far-off thing and Charlie, they don't understand. Monday, we'll bring you all the reports on Citi TV. You know, we'll also give you a few bites on Citi FM. We'll be there with the cameras, microphones, everything, speaking to those who have been affected, farmers and all. And I'm sure we'll take pictures of the various water bodies. Me is the Osino one, Godfred, that one said will weak me.
Yeah. And if you look at the damage to the bill, which is massive.
Really?
You see, and when you listen to Professor Gordon, for instance, and the water resources,
Dr. Alpha,
who spoke about the turbidity levels, where it says 100 is really bad. We're in the thousands.
600.
100 is bad, but we are in the
100
thousands.
is the point we don't want to get to.
But we are
in the thousands.
No, he said something. He said when they were trying to do that was the Ghana water guy, when they were trying to put up one of their plants in the Bunso area, they did the chemistry part of it and sent the samples to their partners in the US, and the people said it's not possible that water can be this polluted. So when they do the readings, the machine they fit pick the readings. So the people travel from America to come and see Charlie. What's the crab wash?
You know,
and so when and so
come and watch.
They travel from America to come and see it.
But that should tell us the amount of
They
chemical
saw water this way.
You know, and for me, for those who didn't listen, I think we'll play this over and over again sometime. But later on, if you see, there's a point from the Ghana water person who says, he mentions certain areas. He says for some time, for a year or two,
they had to.
They stopped producing water in those areas because they just couldn't anymore.
It was not producible.
You understand? And so sometimes people think that, oh, okay, if I don't get water from here, I'll get water from here. And I was happy when he made the point that if the surface water doesn't worry you, the water still sleeps underground. So if you have a borehole, still you are drinking the thing. You cannot escape it. That's another question. People, the thing is bad, so I'm going to get pure water. Where does the pure water come from?
That's it.
So you see, that's the thing. You are not escaping this with any kind of excuse you have in your head. Whatever excuse you have,
now we should get
it's
serious.
Water.
We should get serious. Because see, if the government agency responsible for making our water clean is struggling to make the water clean, you think that small company in some corner somewhere that is bagging water
they will
do a better job? You think so?
They'll just bag it raw and give it to you.
They're just bagging that thing. They go and buy sieve, ole sieve. Then they'll pour the water and go and sell that thing and sweep the FDA. Anyway, Charlie, Akpakot, Kokui, happy birthday to you, man.
Thank you, Papa.
Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Now, some people enjoy coaching their football teams from the comfort of their couch. I was doing that last night. Some people love to visit the sweet-smelling perfume shops from their phones. Some people appreciate comedy shows that make happy tears roll down their cheeks. Look, whatever it is you like, Surfline knows this. And so they are giving you fast data. Just top up or more, get a Surfline device and experience countless uninterrupted hours of fun and good times. You also qualify for some goodies. You get to visit Surfline partners like X-Men, Cheesy Pizza, Doman Foods, and Body Basics. So top up and get a Surfline device today. Surfline, better together. Have you been hustling under the scorching sun? Are you tired and thirsty? Do you need quick refreshment to quench your thirst and complement your meals too? Your favorite Coca-Cola day for you. And you can get these at the following recommended retail prices. Coke Zero, Fanta, Sprite in our 300 ml returnable glass bottles. They sell for 2 cedi 50 pesos. Coke Zero Sugar, Fanta, and Sprite in our 300 ml plastic bottles go for 3 cedi 50 pesos. And your favorite Coca-Cola Classic in our 300 ml plastic bottle is selling at a recommended retail price of 3 cedi 50 pesos. So make Coke a part of your moment, whatever it is. Coca-Cola, real refreshment for all occasions. Coke Zero Sugar, you need to try it first. Now, Real Pedigree recognizes its kind. That's why the Star has found its home to CFR Ghana. Now, it's your preferred automobile company present in Ghana for 113 years. And they are excited to tell you that they have a new partnership with global automobile giant Mercedes-Benz. And so they are the new sole authorized distributor for Mercedes-Benz cars in Ghana. Call them on 0302 742 100 or 020 222 1406 for more info.
Sika Mpe Dede.
Don't go anywhere.
This is
let's move on to other things. Let's talk cables. Yes, the other day when we were talking about CD dollar, all of that, somebody said they went to buy cables and they were expensive. I hope you bought proper cables. I hope you bought tropical cables. Yeah, I've got some very good friends of ours from Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited and CTC Global. So I have Michael Abe, his manager, production engineering at Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. I have Kwame Opoku Mensah, who's acting sales and distribution manager, also at Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. I've got Carl Ulrich, okay, vice president strategic projects, CTC Global, and Jamel Zerari, who's also with CTC Global, is the regional business manager, West Africa. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Morning. Morning.
How are you doing? We're good?
We're doing good.
Doing good. Wonderful. Let's start with Tropical Cable. That one, a lot of people, or some people know what you guys do, but maybe a bit more info. Mike, tell us a bit about Tropical Cable.
I would like to take that if you don't mind.
Very
Yes.
good.
So, as you rightly mentioned, I don't think we need much introduction. Tropical Cable, Topapa Preko, is a wholly owned Ghanaian cable manufacturing company that was established in 1997, and we have a factory and headquarters in Tema, the industrial city. We are 25 years. We're actually in our 25th anniversary year. This year we just celebrated that with a very unique award from the CIMG Club 100 that judged us to be the best cable company in Ghana. And we manufacture a wide range of products that serve all sectors of the economy. And we produce for Ghana and the West African sub-region.
I see.
Yes. And one may ask what we actually produce, even though our name suggests that Tropical Cable means that we produce cables. So I would say that we produce a wide range. In fact, everybody is our customer. Okay. Now, you see all these overhead line conductors that are transmitting cables right from source, from VRA, ECG, from Akosombo or Bui, that are bringing the electricity to our transmission stations.
You make those?
Yes, we make those. With so we make cables for Gridco, ECG, and then so ECG transmits the cables to us through your building. All those cables, we make it the house wiring cables that are used for your projects.
Interesting. So if I get home and I turn on my lights, probably thanks to Tropical Cable.
Exactly.
That's rightly so.
Amazing.
Yes.
This is fascinating. I didn't know you guys did so much in that space. Let's talk about CTC Global. Carl, you are vice president for strategic projects. I love some of these positions. Carl, okay, so tell us a bit about CTC Global.
Yeah, CTC Global was founded in 2001, and it was founded by a crazy idea of changing the way power is delivered on overhead lines.
Okay.
So instead of using just steel and aluminum, we made a product out of composite materials, which is something not a lot of people know about. But if you've ever been on one of the new Boeing or Airbus planes, it's made out of the same material. They're not made out of metal anymore.
Okay.
And they do that because it's light and has a lot of great properties. What we did is we took that same material and took the benefit. So you can replace the existing cable that's made out of steel with the composite and aluminum material we have and get twice the capacity delivered.
Wow, twice the capacity.
Twice the capacity. So you don't need to take down the towers, rebuild towers. It adds twice the capacity, which means more power delivered, obviously, but it also means more stability. So the grid doesn't have problems, doesn't trip. So your power is on more consistently. When you turn on the lights, there's power. So that's what we're doing here in Ghana.
Amazing, amazing. But so what has brought these two companies together and in this studio? I mean, why this association? How did it come about?
Well, a lot of it comes from luck on our part, CTC's part. We have an agent in every country we work with. In Ghana, it's GTEX, and we talk with the agent, and we help not only talk with Gridco, but say, how can we find partners locally that will help us deliver a quality product?
I see.
And Tropical's name was at the top of the list, and we came in to talk to Tropical some months ago now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, so from Tropical's perspective, you can also tell us how it also came together.
Yeah, so as Carl rightly said, that we just came together to form this partnership. Since we are the preferred choice when it comes to cable manufacturing in Ghana, it's only natural that if you want to partner with anybody in the sub-region, you would go for the best manufacturer, which is us. So I think it was the right choice that they made. And because we not only make cables in Ghana, but we have markets also within the sub-region, I think it was a good choice for us. So it's a very interesting partnership because what it gives us is the ability not just to make cables for the Ghanaian market, but to be able to make these cables and be able to export to the sub-region. And as Carl rightly said, it has this particular technology has the opportunity to be able to transmit up to twice the power that ordinarily you will transmit. So it gives power companies the ability to be able to expand their transmission range without necessarily making heavy investment in infrastructure.
I see. So essentially they can use what is in existence to sell more or transmit more.
So transmit more power to you with the same infrastructure, but just the changing of the cables.
I see. Jamal, let me bring you in. You've been quiet. Let's talk about why Tropical companies. I know, yes, they say they are status, they are big, but what other considerations went into choosing them to be your partner?
Thanks. Definitely. I mean, when we started this prospection of a partner and we realized the importance of manufacturing the technology and the conductor in country, not only for Ghana market, but for the sub-region as well. And Tropical Cable definitely came as a highly qualified manufacturer. They have the right capacity, the commitment, and they have all the ISO certification and they manufacture to the international standards. And one thing that is very important as well is aluminium. As you know, conductors are made of aluminium. And Tropical has also another company called Western Road and Wire, and they manufacture their own aluminium. And this is extremely important for us.
I see. So let's talk about the advantages of this partnership. What are the upsides of this partnership?
Well, it's taking technology and local know-how and bringing them together. And that's really what it is. The CTC has the experience of developing and supporting projects in 60 countries around the world, over 1,000 projects with 400 companies that install it, and we support and make sure it happens safely. That's really what CTC brings to that, is that the product is going to be successfully installed. Gridco is going to be satisfied. The people in the country in Ghana are going to be satisfied.
Have more electricity.
They're going to have more electricity. And really, as Jamel and as everybody has said, making the product of the highest quality is critical to success. And that's why bringing these two together, quality, local support, as well as the international support.
So let me add to the advantages. You know, this is a win for Ghana. This is a win for all of us. So if we can remember, we've all been through a period of doomsday, and our power companies have been struggling to, so once we have an efficient product that is going to deliver twice, the capacity with the existing established infrastructure, it means that we are going to be more efficient. So it's good news for Gridco and VRA, and for us as a Ghanaian company, we're just proud to be the first, and the leader in this industry. That's going to bring this in on board. So it's a win for all of us. It's a win for Ghana.
Great. Michael.
And then on top of that, it's also a win for Ghana in the perspective that, what we are facing now, the challenges we're facing with the exchange rate. And one of the things that this could help is that because we are making this locally, it gives us the opportunity to be able to export to the whole of the West African sub-region. As it stands now, we are the only partner for CTC Global in the sub-Saharan Africa region.
You've got a wide market to
exactly. So it
work
means that once this works for Ghana, it can work for other West African countries, and it helps to build up our forex. So that's plus for us.
And not to even mention the job creation, because once we are doing that, it means we are expanding. So a lot more jobs will be created. We save our CD from all this depreciation, and at least we can have a breather.
Great. When you mentioned exporting to countries, it took me back many years when I was in Benin studying French, and there was a so essentially there's a part in Cotonou called Akosombo. Why? That's where you find the power grid. And it's essentially power that is from their end is imported from Ghana, but from our end is exported to them. So it just took me back there. So what does it mean? What does it mean for the two companies, Tropical Cable and CTC Global? What does this partnership mean then?
Well, it means that we both sleep better at night. You know, knowing that we're working with quality partners is what you look for. You know, you have some unfortunate experience where maybe you've dated the wrong girl or guy. and you know why the importance of a partnership is there then.
Wonderful. So final words for those who are listening, your clients, customers, stakeholders, other people in the power sector. Final words. What all of this? Let's put it together. And what will you tell all of them?
Okay. So final words from me. I would like to use this opportunity to thank all our stakeholders for trusting and investing in us as a Ghanaian company that produces so much quality. And we want to add the voice that we should invest in Ghana. Okay. These things are produced locally, and we all have a role to play as Ghanaians. You know, like whenever we have the opportunity to choose and we are producing cables locally for your building, you know, you have to just buy made in Ghana. And together we can grow together. So Topapa Preko and all our we are actually spread across the country from north to the south. We have so whenever you have the need for cables, just look out for Tropical Cable, Topapa Preko, and you'll never be disappointed.
Great. Carl? Jamel,
same thing. We would like to, we started this process about 6 months ago, and we'd like really to thank Tropical Management and Tony Oting, JC, your chairman, and Martin Mensa, managing director. And we worked a lot with the production people. Derek Thornton as well, been very instrumental in us be able to sign this partnership. So thanks a lot.
Great. Michael, just finally, somebody is listening and probably want to get in touch with Tropical Cable. Is there any contacts you can give them? Every now and again, people send me, they ask me where I can get cables to buy, and I tell them, look, I'm a journalist.
We'll give you your commission if you send them through for HFC.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so if you're listening and you want to get in touch with Tropical Cable, you can just call us on 0268 769 840. I'll take that for the one last time. 0268 769 840. Alternatively, you can just visit www.tropicalcables.com and you can have access to us anyway.
Great, guys. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thank you very much.
I've been talking to Michael Abe. Michael Abe is manager, production engineering. What does I mean? Production engineer. He's with Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. I also had Kwame Opoku Mensah, acting sales and distribution manager, Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. And then I had Carl Ulrich, VP Strategic Project, CTC Global, and Jamel Zerari, who is a regional business manager, West Africa, also with CTC Global. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and all the best in your new venture.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Morning to your listeners.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
birthday to our colleague, to another colleague. So Kokui is celebrating her birthday, but happy birthday to Dorothy Safwa Osu. Yeah, she works on the MD's floor.
Yes, I know. She's a big woman.
She's a big woman.
My birthday too in a city.
Yeah. And a happy birthday to Dr. Yvonne Young. Keep waxing stronger always.
That's true. You know, Dr. Young, forgive me. Dr. Young is the principal of the school where my kids used to go to school. So yes, I know we share the same birthday. Good, Dr. Young, happy birthday. Good morning, happy birthday. Lots of love to you. Happy birthday. And I have another birthday. Well, she's not birthday. Her birthday was yesterday. Her name is also Kokui. And her husband sent a request for her yesterday, but I didn't see it. So I want to wish her a happy birthday as well. I'll find her shortly. Okay, so her husband's name is Herbie Ray. And his wife's name is, Kokui Ida Mapia. And he says, for a truly perfect wife through and through, you're the woman who gave meaning to my life, the mother of a big boy and 3 young boys. We celebrate you on your special day. Happy blessed birthday, and may God's favor and grace be upon you. From Herbie, Fifi, Jojo, and Tutu, we love you. That's sweet, right?
Yeah, very sweet.
And I'm so blessed.
Why?
Look who has come to surprise me.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
The one and only Dinah Hamilton.
The one and only Dinah Hamilton. Like, how blessed am I? Seriously. No, she told me, she was like, I'm going to come and see you on your birthday. And she's actually come. And knowing how busy she is, I think that's so sweet.
I
Thank
know.
you so much,
I needed to come in and wish you a happy birthday.
I think that's so lovely. And she didn't come empty-handed too. She gave me a gift.
Oh.
Yes.
Something small.
Sure. From you, it's not small. It can't be small.
Something like that. Something like that.
The Singers Alliance.
I know, right?
Yes, and all we did
I
was
know.
talking about vocals.
All we did was exactly. We've been talking about being a singer and protecting your voice and all that.
Yeah, and resting and for someone whose event is coming up on the 1st of December, you see, she needs all the rest.
Away from
talking. I know talking is like the worst thing for singers, right? So yeah.
But you do so well to talk and still be able to sing.
It's true. It's a lot. It's a lot. But
her kind of singing, to be honest, needs a lot of and the notes she hits.
Look at someone talking. Diana Hamilton herself, the great.
Great. Thank you for
such a
passing by. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're in town. You know, you move back and forth.
Yes.
I do.
So you're in Ghana this time.
I'm in Ghana this time for a series of events, and then also because I've released my new song, My Meditations, I'm doing a bit of a media tour on that as well.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we're here killing like 6 birds with one stone.
Very busy time. So the song is out?
The song is out. My Meditations is out on all media online shops and on YouTube, and it's doing amazing.
We'll check it out. Obviously,
it's wonderful.
It's awesome.
I am fascinated by something that Hamilton does in his songs. He kind of turns bits of it into like conversations. And I wonder. So I'm just gonna ask: is it part of the songwriting process, or that's a little off the cuff as you record?
Some of them come just while I'm in front of the microphone, but most of them, they're intentional. Some of them, I turn into a conversation because I'm not able to put notes to it, and I want to say it. Something like, "It's an opinion; they can have it."
Yeah. It's an opinion. You don't want to sing it. You want to just say it.
You just want to say it.
And it fits in with the whole. It's great.
That part always strikes me.
Always hits you. I know. She's a pro. Okay, I have one birthday request though. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you to sing. I won't do that because when people do that to me, I'm like, no. Okay, so 1st of December. This is the birthday present I'm asking for, Nathan.
Okay.
1st of December, our concert, Nubian Noel, our Christmas concert will be taking place. So this is the band Kokui, my group.
Yeah.
Now, my request to everyone, tickets are available now. If you want to send a birthday present to me, please buy a ticket for Nubian Noel. And it's also for a good cause. We support a school in the Afram Plains. We did it last year with the concert. We're doing it again this year. And we're partnering with the Chango app. You know, Chango is the wonderful group contribution app, fundraising app, so crowdfunding app. They have come together with us. They love what we're doing. And we're doing this. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful concert. Afro-popper Christmas concert. Okay, different genres. So Please, if you want to get a ticket, you can get them here at Citi FM. You can call 055-331-3102, or you can check out all our social media. We're also on Ego Tickets if you want to buy it online. And just support us by getting a ticket, and you'll be supporting a good cause as well. And you'll enjoy great music. And if you can't make it, buy a ticket for someone else.
Who can?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, so please get a ticket for Nubia Noel. That's all. That's all.
That's nice.
That's
I
wonderful.
wasn't made to sing. That's good.
Yes, I won't put you on the spot. Singers don't do that to each other.
I know. Singers and
Respect the creed.
We respect the creed, Nathan. We do.
Anyway.
Yes. And I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Seems just not enough. But what more can I say that you haven't heard? Yahweh, why you're in Santa? What?
I hope she surprised you with a visit. And
I know.
You didn't see
A
that
visit
coming.
and a gift. So sweet of her, Diana. She's truly, genuinely a lovely person. You know, as lovely as her music. I think it shines through her music. You know, when people are generally nice, and she really is. I'm so grateful to her.
Well, talking about birthdays, I did this and I'll do it again. Dr. Yvonne Young.
Yes, Dr. Young.
Happy birthday.
Happy
to you.
birthday. We love you.
The message is, as I see it, keep waxing stronger and always. May God bless you and keep you. That's coming from Tajuddin. Boys, how are you?
I speak no words. My heart's awake.
Happy birthday to you, Kokui, once again. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Obodai. I mean, from a fellow November born, you know, it carries weight.
Enjoy your day. I wish you the very best in the coming year.
Thank you. I don't take life for granted at all. Every year is special. Celebrate every day. Yeah.
You know, sometimes because of life's demands and exigencies, you kind of forget a lot and you are going all over the place. Sometimes you just need to pause and breathe and say, wow, I have life.
Yes.
Thank God for that.
Yes.
And happy birthday to Dorothy Safwa Owusu.
Yes, so my Citi FM and Citi TV birthday twin.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Safwa. She will be going around. Have you done a photo shoot? Do you know I have a photo? Go and take your picture.
I know, right?
All right, Safwa, happy birthday to you. But that's our show. That's our show. Many thanks for listening today and throughout the week. We appreciate that. My name is Nathan Quao. I sat in for Bernard Avle. Show produced by Fred Jabano and Caleb Kuda. Godfred Odum gave us help on technical. You also heard Samens earlier and Godfred Akoto Boafo. The City News at 10 is next. How Idrisu has all the latest from the world of news.
Good morning and welcome to City News at 10.